If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
Well, good morning. Hello, everybody. Have you heard the news? Did you watch all of that on that video there? It is super exciting because, yes, finally we are able to talk about those club member benefits. Being a club member now means that you get even more benefits. So if you're already a club member and you locked in that price, that's fantastic, but your club membership discount goes from 10% to 15%. Woohoo! Yay. You're still going to get your £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers, so that's amazing. But you're also going to be getting, there's 2 free postage vouchers you're going to get as well. So twice in the year you're going to be able to take £6.99 off your postage cost, which is amazing, isn't it? What fantastic news do we have for you today? Also,
hi Bex, how you
Adam's
doing?
back.
Oh, happy New Year to you.
Adam's
Good
in
to
the
see
potting
you.
shed with us, so even more fantastic news. So hello to you all, Neil and Elaine. Oh, Elaine, you're in the chat already this morning, so thank you very much. Elaine, I know you're waiting for your big order to come. I got a big order yesterday. Did you see the Fatsia that we were doing recently?
The spider's web.
No.
Oh.
So Fatsia japonica, we had a big one. And we
Oh,
would
right, the green one.
Yeah. So we were doing a bit of a clearance. They'd go really big. They were in a little pot. So instead of repotting them into a bigger pot and charging more money, we cleared them out. They were £16. Honestly, it's this big.
Whoa, that is good for 16 quid.
I placed my order on Monday. I got my dispatch email on Tuesday. It was delivered at about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So I'm super excited. I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I will as soon as I get home. So very, very exciting. Elaine, let us know if your order is on its way today. We'll do the countdown with you. What else do I have to tell you? So, club membership, amazing. Do join our club membership because you will get that 15% discount on your orders. You'll get your £20 vouchers. You'll get those 2 free postage vouchers as well. It costs £10 to join on the auto renewal. So do that, and then every single year you'll just pay the £10 and you'll all get all of those amazing benefits, which is brilliant. You're a club member, aren't you?
I am, yeah, absolutely.
We're all club members. If you're not, do think about joining. We'll talk to you about it throughout the airing that we're doing today.
15% as well. I mean, that's amazing. It's slightly more difficult to work out. But
Yes.
So just do 10%, then half.
Yeah.
No, it's not that much difficult, is it?
It'd be fine. You're getting even more. That's the most important thing. We are going to carry on giving you our free postage offer as well if you get your order to over £40, which is brilliant. Very easy to do. As long as you use the code that you can see on the screen there. It's now YGTV0225. It says when you place an order, do you have an offer code? That's the code you enter in when you place that order. That'll give you free postage over £40. It'll also unlock all of the other deals, the savings, the discounts, the buy one, get one free, all of those sorts of things. And it gives you this.
Yeah, and this is brilliant, Bex. I mean, I love this because this isn't just a basic fertiliser. It's not like your nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. It's got all the trace elements as well. It's like multivitamins for plants.
Yeah.
And it's liquid as well, which is great. Straight in through the roots, in through the foliage. I love your little tip as well, pouring it into the water butt.
Yeah, if you've got a water butt, because that will make 100 litres.
Yeah.
So just bear in mind how big your water butt is. Most of them are about 80 or 100 litres anyway. You can pour the whole packet into a full water butt and you're ready to go.
That's it. House plants, outdoor plants, any plants really. Brilliant.
Yeah, the only thing you wouldn't really use it on is your grass, isn't it?
I mean, you could, but I wouldn't.
It's a bit of a waste,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, save it for all your precious plants.
So it'll last you quite a long time, making 100 litres in there, and it's a free gift with every order you place, not just one per customer. Place multiple orders, you'll get multiples of your free gift. I think that's all I've got to say. What else have I got to say?
Oh, well, yeah, because you say the multiples of this, you can do your little compost trick later as well, can't you?
If you need some compost, and we are going to
be.
be obviously buying lots of compost at the moment. If you need multiple orders of your compost, because it's one of our bagged products, it has no postage attached to it. So say you're placing 3 orders for your compost, do it in separate orders and you'll get 3 bags of that. It's a really good way of doing it. Right, so we want you to join in the chat, if you could please. That's what it's all about here. We're very blue today, look.
Yeah, well,
I like it.
We're looking blue, but we're definitely not feeling blue.
No.
Have you noticed already? The days are just starting to creep out a
They
bit.
really are, yeah.
I was sitting in my living room yesterday, and at 10 past, coming up to 4:15, I was like, whoa.
It's still light.
Still a bit light
I know.
outside, so already you can tell.
I've been looking at your videos you've been doing on socials and stuff, because you're very excited about spring happening,
Yeah,
aren't you?
no, I love it. Yeah,
You love it?
Yeah, well, like a lot of people get that SAD kind of thing. So once, you kind of start to see the days drawing out, the bulbs coming through, that feeling of dread starts to go, because, you can see all the good times are coming again, all the daylight's coming, and it's an exciting time of year.
Well, if you want to share your excitement with us, if you want to share any pictures with us, there is an email address on the bottom of the screen there. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. I will be able to look in here. I'll be able to see your messages. But more importantly, if you want to attach any pictures, we'd love to see what's going on in your garden or any orders you got, or whatever you want to send us. We would love to get those. You can join the chat on YouTube. That's the one I've got open. And Stu will keep an eye on Facebook and let us know who's in there. Right, let's get into it. Let's talk about what's coming up for you in the first hour. We are here until 1 o'clock, so we've got a full 3 hours with you. We've got a beautiful rhododendron here. I've completely forgotten what we've got there. Oh, we've got my forsythia. I love that, the forsythia mini gold. The abelia is back. You loved this before, so I think this is brilliant to bring this one back for you. We've got a lovely ceanothus coming up. It's a really decent size as well, and you will get flowers on there this year, which is brilliant. What we got over next to you, Adam?
We've got a Lysosteria over there as well, golden lanterns. We have got a viburnum bonatense dawn. We've got some 3 different types of blueberries as well, so
Love
they're going to fruit all different times for you. My most favourite lilac, Madame Lemoyne, which is absolutely stunning, and Chinomales, or flowering quince, ornamental quince, beautiful red spring flowers.
So all of those coming up soon. We've still got loads more as well to bring up onto that table, but we've also got what we're calling our favourites table. Let's go and have a little look. What we want you to do though, please, if you wouldn't mind, go onto our website, which is where you place your order. Go to yougarden.com, click on the bit where it says live now, and then if you scroll down, what you'll be able to see is all of the items that we've selected for this week's shows. We want to know what you're interested in, what you want to see. Get ahead of us. Email us, message us on YouTube, Facebook. Tell us what you're looking forward to seeing. We can even bring those up earlier if you want to. But we've got a deal on the ericaceous compost, which is a really good one. We've got a couple of items on the show today that do need that. If you put your code in your basket before you start shopping, this page that you're scrolling through right now, the prices shown on there will show you the prices that you will pay when you check out, which is a bit easier then to work out what you want to do. And if you're logged in with your membership as well, there's so many things that you'll be able to see on there. There's loads of good news for us today.
There is, yeah. I mean,
Love this new year.
Yeah, this year on YouGarden, it is going to be absolutely fantastic this year, Bex. I'm just so excited.
It is going to be good, isn't it?
It's going to be brilliant, yeah.
Thanks to you lot, that's what we need to say. So thanks for coming and joining us, every single week. Anybody that's new, we are here twice a week at the moment. So we do a Thursday morning from 10 till 1, and we also do a Sunday morning from 9:30 until 1:30. You can find us in various other places as well. We do TikTok lives, we're on QVC, we do loads of different things. So do find us wherever it is that you fancy watching us. Right, we're going to start with the one that I actually really want in my garden. I haven't got this, but I do really love the flowers that are produced on this one. I think it's really beautiful. So it's on my list for my new garden when I finally move house. This one is going to feature. I'm going to grow it in a pot. I know it can get big, but I'm going to grow it in a pot because we don't have acid soil around where I live, basically, and you do need ericaceous for this, don't you?
You do, yeah, and it'll be quite happy in a pot, Bex, as well, this. Crinodendron, it is an absolutely stunning plant. It's got these red lantern-like flowers, evergreen foliage, really different, really unusual.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's a bit different. There's something quite unusual about it, and those flowers, that's what really sets it off for me.
Yeah, they almost slightly remind me of a fuchsia kind of flower. They've got that kind of, sort of look and that sort of feel to it. I mean, wow, look at these. These are just spectacular. I've seen these growing in various places. They do really, really well, for instance, in sort of places like Scotland and Wales and areas like that sort of get quite sort of damp, cool, kind of wet conditions. It likes, as you say, that ericaceous kind of soil as well. So if in your garden already you've got things like, oh, look at that. Brilliant. What a start.
Good start, eh?
Yeah, rooty beauty straight away. If you've got things in your garden like rhodies and camellias and stuff already growing really happily, you can plant this straight into your garden with the same area as these. If you haven't, just grow it in a pot, grow it in a container. It's a beautiful, beautiful container plant because it will be evergreen. And when it flowers, you can just bring this right up to the patio doors, put it on the decking, and just enjoy it for year after year after year. It's quite slow growing. I mean, I've seen these get to about 5 to 6 foot tall, but that takes probably take a good sort of 10 years to get that tall. But really, really beautiful, stunning shrub, and quite easy to grow.
This is why it's definitely going into my list. It's only £9.99 today. We are saving £3 here. Even bigger membership saving, of course, because we are saving that 15%, which is £8.49 if you add that into your basket. If you've got some vouchers to use, if you're just joining the club or you've got some of those vouchers left over from when your club renewed, maybe this is the one, this is the order that you use that on to get an amazing price on there. Stu, here's a good question from Neil. He's asking the new benefits of the... Oh, no, but he's asking... Yes, bigger discounts and the delivery vouchers. Will the delivery vouchers be sent to existing club members? I'm assuming so that... He's checking with customer services right now, so we'll get back to you to find out the process for that. But yes, they should absolutely get sent to you, so we'll check on that.
Did you just say, Bex, as well, you can carry over vouchers from last year?
No, I don't think you can carry them over, but I'm just saying if you've when you join the club, you've got 12 months to use them.
Fair
if you
enough.
haven't used them by the 12 months, I'm afraid it's a use it or lose it kind of deal.
Okay, cool.
So you can't carry them over, but if you haven't used them yet, I've still got 2 or 3 left, then you can use them.
Right,
yeah.
brilliant.
Make sure you check your expiry dates on those. Make sure you use them because it's free money. It's free money. Like a bit of free money anyway. Right, should we move on then? So that one is the beautiful Chilean lantern tree going in my garden. Is it going in your garden? Do also let us know what you think about those new club membership benefits because we'd love to hear. I know you're going to love them, to be honest with you, but we'd love to hear your thoughts. Right, shall we go to... Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Salix, shall we? The pussy willow.
Yeah, I mean, normally you think of pussy willow and yellow. You think of yellow pussy willow.
True, yeah.
And always reminds me of childhood because I can remember when I was a kid, used to go for winter walks with my dad, and I used to always love it when the pussy willow came into flower because that was kind of late winter, getting into early spring, and you just kind of knew, that spring was on the way, that better times were coming. But this is a slightly different one.
Oh, it's rooty.
I reckon that's going to have a seriously good root, Bex.
Well, yeah. There you go.
It's got a dark
just
root
needed
system,
a little...
But you can... Look at that. That is a fantastic root system. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's good, isn't it?
That is good. Now, this is slightly different because normally when you think of the pussy willow, the catkins, you think of them as being yellow. These pink. Gorgeous, gorgeous pink. They will flush yellow eventually. Once the little stamens come out and open, they will flush yellow. But to start with, this unbelievably gorgeous pink. I mean, imagine like a shrub or a small tree of this in spring before the leaves develop, just smothered in these beautiful, beautiful little pink pussy willow. Absolutely stunning, really, really gorgeous. And this is a good shrub or a small tree to grow somewhere quite damp. So if you've got damp soil, even wet soil, these will do very, very well.
Clay soil then?
Yeah, clay soil. You know, sometimes, well, especially with the way the weather is these days and the amount of rain we get, you know, you might have a part of your garden that really does sit wet, and you put other plants in, they rot, they die off, they can't cope with the wet soil. These will love it. Willow, salix, willow family, they love wet, damp soil.
Yeah.
And they don't mind a little bit of shade as well. So, you know, go for this, because year after year after year, late winter into early spring, it'll be adorned with these beautiful pink pussy willow, and it'll be a talking point.
I love them, and of course you will be able to cut stems off there as well. You know, pussy willow stems, they are used within cut flower displays, and you can pay quite a lot of money for them. Yeah. So if you cut them and you dry them, you can actually add them as fillers into your cut flower displays, which would be a beautiful thing, a beautiful addition. We are getting some messages. Neil would like to wish you a happy new year, Adam, because this is your first time in the potting
Thanks,
shed.
Neil. Happy New Year to you as well. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So yes, it's a buy one get one free. So you put one in your basket, you enter the code, and that's how the other one appears in your basket, and it will appear as a free item. And of course, because you've used the code, you will also get your free gift, which is that bag of the Blooming Fast fertiliser as well. Our amazing Blooming Fast fertiliser. We swear by that. So do think about, maybe, if you can, obviously, if your budget allows, place multiple orders in order to get hold of multiple free gifts. Stu's doing a basket. Love it. Let's have a look. Hey, there we go. Look, put it in. It popped in. It's popped in as free. You've also got your Blooming Fast in there as a freebie as well. We've got a great deal on the Ericaceous compost today, so that might be a time to stock up on that one. You know, if you do need a few pots of Ericaceous compost, great time to get hold of that at a great price. And of course, if you get your order to over £40, you'll be able to knock the postage off that cost as well. Remember that the new club benefit, or certainly the biggest one we're going to talk about, is that you get 15% off. It used to be 10, it's now 15%. The prices on the screen that you can see do reflect that. So it would have been £8.99 pre-Christmas, but it's now £8.49 because you get that extra 5% discount. Yeah, it's a really good. It's time to be a club member, okay? So make sure you get it on that auto-renewal and get all of these amazing discounts. Right, let's move on. Buddleia is the next one. Now, Buddleia, traditionally, we normally think of Buddleia as being that beautiful, the butterfly bush.
Yeah, indeed.
Purple flowers, really easy to grow. I mean, it can grow on a washing line, I think, is your term.
Yeah.
But this one's just a little bit unusual because it's the sun gold variety.
Yeah, it is. This is fragrant to start with, really, really sweetly fragrant, and it doesn't have those sort of conical shaped flowers. This has sort of a ball shaped flowers, if you like, little clusters of flowers, sort of in the axils of the stem. So, you know, a different type of flower altogether. But look at that beautiful, beautiful dark yellow colour there with those almost orange centres, and a really sweet fragrance on these as well. And this one is slightly different in that this flowers on the previous year's wood. So if you want to prune this one, prune it immediately after it's finished flowering.
Okay.
And then the new growth that then comes will give you flower the following year.
Okay.
But for the first 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't even bother pruning it. Just leave it. Just let it grow.
Alone.
Let it build up a nice size.
How big will it get?
It can get to about a couple of metres or so tall.
So similar to traditional Buddleia.
Yeah, a couple of metres or so. But as I say, if you want to trim it down, if it gets too big after it's finished flowering, trim it down to whatever height you want. New growth will come, and all those new stems will then flower for you the following year. 2 stunning, beautiful little plants here as well.
Yeah, I was just looking at them. I mean, they're obviously they're coming from YouGarden, so we know these are going to be amazing. We never check in the pots before we take them out of here. I haven't taken any of the plants out of the pots before the show. Yeah, you can see, can't you, when I was trying to get that salix out.
Yeah, that didn't want to come out, did it? That hasn't been out that pot since it went in that pot, to be honest.
I always have confidence because I know the quality that we bring. So, really nice and rooty. That is going to... And it's going to grow quickly, and this is what I like about Buddleia, actually, because if you want to fill a gap quickly, you don't want to wait too long. If you've got a bare garden or a gap that needs filling, Buddleia is a really good one to plant. I always give the example of my friends. They have a static caravan on a caravan park, and they're all quite tightly packed in, aren't they?
Yeah, generally.
And they've got a lovely little garden, but it's right next to it. So just a bit of privacy. So what they've done is they've put a Buddleia just here, and it grows really quickly every single year and provides that privacy into the garden. So it's a really good one to use for screening.
It is, and they're tough as old boots, Buddleias, as well. I mean, the ones that grow wild on the railways, for instance. I mean, the sort of the track companies spend millions every year trying to get rid of Buddleias because they're so persistent. So, they're a super, super tough plant, Buddleia. They're really, really drought tolerant. They're good for quite poor soils as well. So if you've got sandy soil, gravelly soil, in fact, you know what, Buddleias pretty much grow in any soil, but particularly really poor, sandy, denuded kind of soils, they'll do well there. So, you know, if you've got really poor soil and you're struggling to get a shrub that's going to thrive, go for this, because it will thrive in that kind of condition.
It's pretty difficult to kill a Buddleia, isn't it?
To kill a Buddleia as well. You'll get sort of months and months of flower on this as well. You'll get fragrance, and you'll get a shrub that's going to last year after year after year. And it's hardy as well, so you get a lifetime guarantee on this as well. If you look for the little snowflake symbol, that lets you know that if it fails within a couple of 2 or 3 years, we'll replace it for you free of charge.
There you go. So, do you want to go for the double up deal on the Buddleia? You can just get one if you want to for $9.99, $8.49 if you're in the club. But of course, you can double up there. If you put 2 in your basket and enter the code, you'll get the 2 for $14.99. Or less than that if you're in the club. I can't do 15% maths now, so
it's 10%.
I can't do the fast maths.
It's 10% then half, isn't it?
You'll get it for less if you're in the club, of course, because you're getting that 15% discount. Neil, the answer to your question is the free posted vouchers for anybody who's already a club member will come when the club renews. So they won't get sent out right now, but when your club membership renews, that's when you'll get your postage vouchers. The main reason we're doing that is that some people might only just be renewing next week or in 2 weeks' time, and they'll get twice as many as everyone else, so it just wouldn't really be that fair. So it'll be as your membership renews, that will happen. But you are able to get your 15% instantly right now. That's happening. And what is it? Oh, 7.5% obviously on tools and machinery. It's gone up. Garden furniture, so you'll get extra discounts on those ones as well in comparison to the previous membership deals that we had. So it's all just good news, basically. You've all locked your membership price in because you were members. It's the same for new members. The price you pay to join will stay that price for the lifetime of your membership as long as you don't let the auto-renewal lapse. So if we do put the price up again in the future, I'm sure it'll be a while before we consider doing that. But if we do, you will lock your price in right now by joining. Right, should we get our mojo back? Shall we start the January, how we intend to carry on? Let's talk about the Mojo Berry. This is a mulberry.
Yeah, it's a mulberry.
I mean, normally, the mulberry bush.
Yeah,
mulberry bush.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, mulberry trees are quite famous, aren't they? I mean, silkworms feed on mulberry trees, mulberry leaves. In fact, there is a story, and I think it's true. There was going back in history a bit. There was a king,
right,
who I think he was fed up with importing silk and stuff from abroad and stuff, and went to get into this kind of silk industry.
Yeah.
So he planted acres and acres of these mulberry trees. But what he didn't realise was you get what is called a black mulberry or a white mulberry.
Yes.
He planted the wrong ones, and silkworms will only eat, I can't remember which one it is, they'll only eat white mulberry leaves.
Yeah.
And he must have planted
all
black ones. Yeah,
right, so it didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah,
That's quite funny.
Wait for them all to grow. Then kind of, you know, yeah, Houston, he became a very successful fruit farmer after that. Yeah,
eating lots of mulberries.
So he's planned to kind of, you know, get in on the silk industry and get one over on, you know, the other people. It didn't work. But this is a miniature mulberry, so you can grow this in a pot, you can grow this in a tub. This only gets to about 1.25 metres tall, so. Yeah, this really, really is a dwarf mulberry as well. It's self-fertile,
yes,
which is good.
Love that.
Yeah, so you don't need to worry about another one of these being nearby to get it fertilised. Also, it will fruit on old and new wood as well, which is great.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that really helps when it comes to, you know, pruning and stuff like that. You actually don't need to worry too much at all.
No, all I would do with this is probably in the winter time, just check the plant over. If there's any branches that are crisscrossing, any branches that are rubbing, that have been slightly damaged or anything, just take those off with a sharp pair of secateurs. But other than that, just leave it and enjoy it.
And another good thing to do, and correct me if I'm wrong by all means, but as it's older, I'm talking maybe 5-6 years in the future, a good thing to do to kind of give it more energy and renew it is maybe take a few of the stems down to the base, and that just gives it a burst of energy and give you more shoots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the old, you know, because quite often on shrubs like that, you can see the older stems have got the darker kind of wood to them, and the newer stems are slightly more green. So yeah, every so often, or I mean, every 2 or 3 years, or every year, you could just take, I don't know, perhaps 2 or 3 or 30% of the the old wood out. so you're always renewing. But look at that. I mean,
I love that.
Isn't that fantastic?
They're a bit like blackberries, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, they look like blackberries, and
the taste and the juiciness.
Yeah,
and
well, I've
stuff.
tasted them at work because I used to look after a garden years ago, a place near North Weald, and they had a huge mulberry tree there, and it used to be smothered in mulberries, and kind of mid to late summer there'd be these sumptuous sweet mulberries.
Nice.
Yeah, really, really lovely.
Lunching on it.
And I think also it was awarded the Chelsea Flower Show Plant of the Year in 2017. Yeah.
You're right.
So this has got pedigree, this one.
Amazing. So well done if you're adding that one into your basket. It is a £5 saving today. We're taking a third off the price. Remember, you're getting that extra 5% discount from your club membership. It's now 15%. So yes, fill your baskets. Just want to say a quick hello to Victoria, who's joined us in the chat. Thank you very much. She does like the sun gold. What was she saying about? She planted it, but she's planted a replacement one because the previous one got uprooted, but she absolutely loves the sun gold. It is a beautiful one, so do think about that one too. Also, somebody sent us a video. Am I showing that now, Stu? Hold on one second. Right, so this is a name this plant, which I'm slightly worried about. Sometimes I'm really good at it. Even Adam's looking worried. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not so. So let's have a little look. Millie wants to know...
Don't always get it right, because there's a lot of plants out there.
What is this? I know! That looks like a ceanothus, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's one we've got on the show.
Yes!
I think it is this. I think it's actually Ceanothus thriciflorus repens. It looks pretty much the same as that one.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like there's buds appearing on it. They do look like quite big. I can't zoom, Stu. It won't let me zoom. Can you see those?
Yeah, that's the flower buds.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's flower buds.
Yes,
yeah.
my lovely. We think that that's a ceanothus.
Yeah.
So that if those buds turn into those beautiful blue flowers that we're going to show you on the ceanothus in a moment, yeah, it's a ceanothus. Pretty sure of it.
If that's a recent picture, those flower buds are pretty advanced.
Yes, they are.
But that's not unusual.
Just because of the mild weather we've had.
Yeah, but I mean, don't worry. Those flowers will just hold back now the weather's turned colder. And then, about May time, that's just going to explode into a massive blue, pretty much like Bex's jumper.
Yeah, it is. It's really blue.
Really bright blue colour.
Yeah, don't dig that up. It is really gorgeous. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a ceanothus.
Yeah, I would say definitely Bex. Yeah, that's a ceanothus without doubt. Yeah.
Oh, I love it that I knew. Amazing. Right, thank you so much. So, yeah, send us your pictures, send us your videos. If we can help, we absolutely will. If you just want to show us how beautiful your garden is, wonderful. Or if you want to say mine's looking a bit bare at the moment, you've got any suggestions, we'll see what we can do to help you. That's what we're here for. We've got a lovely gardening community. Right, let's move on, shall we? Oh, this was another picture I meant to take this morning. Stu, have you got my pictures? Because Dixonia, I adore this. I got this 2.5 years ago. This size, by the way, in the 9cm pot. And still find my pictures. I adore this plant. It is so jungle-tastic. I just think it feels ancient and wonderful.
Well,
it's beautiful.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's a member of the fern family. So, I mean, ordinarily tree ferns, they're kind of sort of antipodean side of plants. Like Australia, New Zealand, that kind of part of the world. But
it's rooty.
It is rooty. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Look how rooty and beautiful that is.
That is crazy rooty.
And it's pretty easy to look after, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, they do need a little bit of winter protection. I haven't actually protected mine much at all. I will be doing it because it is getting a bit cold at the moment. But actually, they're pretty tough, aren't they?
I mean, what we said before, didn't we, with this one as well, is almost treat this like an heirloom kind of plant as well, because. I mean, I've got a tree fern. Here's yours.
So that's mine, but that was the first year, okay?
Yeah.
I planted it, and it's in a lovely shady spot there. But then that's it. A year later.
That's done really well.
So that's after about 18 months.
Yeah.
And you should see it now. So about another 6 months on, I will do a picture tomorrow or something, and I'll have it ready for Sunday, I promise. So it's looking even better.
But you're protecting that now, hopefully.
I will be. I haven't yet, and I really need to.
Yeah, because we're going to get a
No, I know,
-6
it's going to be really
tonight.
cold. It's really cold.
Yeah.
I will do something with it as soon as I get home, because it is. I put it out the front of the house, so it's less sheltered where it is at the moment. So I will do something with it as soon as I get home.
Because I mean, I've got a tree fern in my garden that's about 8-9 foot tall, but then I bought it like really tall already, and obviously once get that size could be 30, 40, 50 years, but I think it's just such fun and so brilliant to see a tree fern that size, to start a tree fern that young, because it's okay like spending 300 or 400 quid in it buying a really big tree fern, but sometimes it's good to have the journey, isn't it? To
That's why
go
I wanted
from the
this
start.
actually, because sometimes I'm impatient, sometimes I want something big, and yes, I'm prepared to spend that extra money to do that because I want to fill a space or whatever. But actually, I wanted to have this from the sort of start of its journey, and hopefully have it until the day I pop off and I'm not here anymore, and then hopefully one of my kids will take it and it becomes an heirloom.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought of with this.
Yeah, because chances are in your lifetime, that will get, that will start to get a bit of a trunk on it, and then in your kid's lifetime, it'll probably get 2 or 3 foot tall, and in your grandchild's lifetime, off it goes.
It's only £4.99 as well. Look at the saving here. It should be £12.99. It is only £4.99 or £4.24 if you are in the club. So please do consider getting this, because honestly, I found this an absolute joy. It's pretty easy, honestly. Just put it in a nice shady spot somewhere.
And keep it damp. Keep it wet and water it from the top as well.
I actually need to change the pot it's in because I've got it in a terracotta pot. So obviously the terracotta is leaching all of the moisture out.
Joe, I wouldn't worry about that too much, Bex, because although it's leaching the moisture out, that's probably actually creating a bit of humidity as well,
maybe,
which you probably would quite like. So, but always water your tree ferns from the top as well, because especially once they get a trunk, because the bottom part of the trunk doesn't really draw up the moisture. They get the moisture from the top.
From the centre, yeah.
Yeah, from the centre.
I love it. Please get hold of a Dixonia, or if you've already got one, let us know, because we have brought that to you a few times. So some of you regulars might already have one. We'd love to see your pictures. Ceanotha. So Millie, this is what we think that you have got in your garden right now. If you look at that foliage, I think that looks very similar to what you've got in your garden. And this one is an amazing size. It's in the 2 litre pot, so this is a really nicely established one for only £8.49 if you're in the club. Remember, you're getting that extra 15% discount by being a club member. It used to be 10, we've upped it. You're getting 15% now. So if you're not already a club member, time to join. And look at that.
Yeah, I mean, that is Maytime, and
I love that.
There's not many plants in the UK that you can grow that are this blue. I mean, this is true blue, really, really blue. Fragrant as well. They call it Californian lilac, and it's not fragrant like a normal lilac, but it does have a fragrance to it. But what I love about it is, what we're up to, the 8th or 9th of January
Something
today.
like that.
And this has been outside in the garden centre here. Look how beautiful it looks, even this time of year.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Look at the lustre and
I
the
like
shine
that we've got an
on
evergreen
those
plant
leaves.
here. It's really important to mix in some evergreens into your garden,
Definitely.
isn't it?
And this, again, I mean, we were talking earlier on about the salix, and we were saying that likes really wet soil and likes shady position. This one, this will grow in the driest of soils. So if you've got somewhere in your garden that gets baked, that's got really poor soil, that's got soil that you just can't keep damp, and every other shrub you put in there fails because it can't get the moisture, plant this. This will thrive in that kind of situation. The great thing about this ceanotha as well, it's got 2 habits, and that's down to you. If you plant this full sun, really, really full sun, poor soil, bright position, sheltered, it will tend to grow out sideways more. It will become more ground covery. If you put it in a slightly less sunny position, it will grow more upright. Doesn't matter which way it grows, it will still look fantastic. It will still flower for a good 6 weeks. And it has a funny little habit as well, like we mentioned with other shrubs. It'll have its main flower in May, and then a little later in the year, just for no reason at all, just decides to pop out a few more flowers.
But it is the most stunning plant in Maytime.
Beautiful.
So, and it's wonderful because it happens sort of after your spring bulbs have done their thing, tulips have started to come out. And then there's this little hiatus, this little pause before all the summer stuff starts to happen. And the ceanothus does its thing, gets covered in these blue flowers, and it's the thing that draws your attention in the, it's that particular month's plant.
I remember your TikTok video of that ceanothus.
Yeah, oh my word, I'll do it again this year.
Neighbour's garden.
It's my neighbour's garden.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
Yeah, when you see one of these shrubs on a day in May, just an explosion of the most incredible deep blue. Really, really amazing.
It is beautiful. Good morning, everybody. So loads of people, you're all joining us in the chat now. So Ruth, hello. Millie's there, obviously.
Hi, Millie.
Elaine is there. Alistair, hello to you. Good morning to everybody. Apparently I've got an email. Somebody is telling us... Stu says she's just bragging. She's bragging about all the plants she's got, and I love it. You brag away, Penny. So she says, morning, I put 7 orders in 7 orders in on the 5th. Amazing. Order 1 was 2 helix planters on the buy one get one free, 2 hypericums, 2 bare root poppies. Orders 2 and 3 were 10 helix planters. So I bought 10, got 10 free. Order 4, 5, 6 and 7. Compost, all orders free delivery, and all with blooming fast, 7 packs in total. Winner, winner. Thanks, YouGarden and team.
Wow.
Yes, you are a winner. Well done, Penny. That's brilliant. Love it. I mean, it's thanks to you guys that we are here, and we are still doing it. We've got massive plans for 2025. We're really excited to be here.
I think we've
super
started
exciting.
something, couldn't we, now, with this?
Yeah.
All of us, the whole team,
I think we have. We're about 18 months in, so we're really excited. So thanks very much.
We sort of, the year before was like, get ready. Last year was get set, and this year is go. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. All right, let's give you a little reminder then of everything that we've seen so far. We've still got lots to see, so don't go anywhere. But let's give you a little just reminder. The Chilean lantern is where we're starting. This one, I fancy holding this one myself. It's got the most amazing sort of lantern-like flowers on here. It can get nice and big. It'll take a little bit of time. We are talking, what, about 2 metres in height, I reckon? 2.5?
Yeah, I mean, that could take a good 10 years or so.
Yeah,
it's not
it'll take some
shrub,
time. You do need ericaceous compost, bear that in mind. So you need acid soil. If you've got that already, plant it in the ground. If you haven't, you could grow this happily in a pot, and that's exactly what I'm thinking I want to do. Do you know what I'm just going to do? I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get myself some ericaceous, because we've got a deal on the ericaceous compost at the moment. So do it. Grow it in a pot, and you will absolutely adore
and
it.
it won't mind a bit of a shadier kind of damp kind of position either. It doesn't need massive full sun, this one.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, number 1 on my list today. Next, we've got the Mount Aso, the pink pussy willow. This is a buy one, get one free. So if you put one in your basket and enter the code, you'll get one absolutely free. If you don't want to, have it as a gift for somebody. Grow it on a little bit and then give it to them as a gift. They'll think you've spent loads of money on them, and that's brilliant, isn't it? It is £8.49 if you're in the club, because you're getting that 15% discount. 510641 is the item number. Go to yougarden.com to place your order, or if you want to talk to somebody, you can use our phone lines. They are open. Next, we've got the Buddleia Sun Gold, a little bit different. Butterfly bush here, and it is on a double up deal, so you can get 2 of these. This is where you put 2 in your basket, though, on the double up deals. So it's $8.49 for 1 if you're in the club, or $14.99 for 2. Take your 15% off that if you're in the club. 11. I can't do the maths, I'm so sorry. But yes, you can get 2 of those on that double up deal if you want to. 510031 is the item number. Next up we have the mojo, the lovely berries that you can create. They are, I mean, it's nice and easy, isn't it? We definitely want to add some grow your owns. Maybe you want to try something a little bit different, a little bit new this year. Maybe you've already got a few grow your owns and you just fancy something, you know, just out of the ordinary. Why not go for the wonderful mojo berry? It's in that 1.7 litre pot, so it's already, you know, decently established for you. £8.49 if you're in the club. Just plant it somewhere sunny. That's what these kind of soft fruits and berries need.
I like the way it kind of weeps and tumbles
as
well.
Pretty,
it's got a nice
it?
shape to it. Yeah.
Lovely. 310092 is the item number for that one. And this one's just a brilliant deal. Yeah, it's going to take quite a while before it starts to look like this. But there's mine, and that's probably about, I don't know, a year? No, that's about... Do you know, I can't remember that, but this is it after about 18 months, and I think that's done amazingly in 18 months, isn't it?
That's because you've loved it and you've watered it.
Well, do you know what? It was in the perfect place. I had it in that border. It was a nice shady border. It was sheltered. In that first year, I didn't protect it at all, and I know you're going to tell me off for that, but I didn't. But I think because of where I had it, it was nicely sort of protected from the elements anyway.
Yeah.
So I think I really did put it in the right place and got an amazing growth from it. So it's only $4.99, and it'll become an heirloom. Please, I'm a big fan of Dixonia. Add that one into your basket. It might tip you over the £40 as well. Might be that one plant that you've tipped you over the £40, so you get a plant instead of paying the postage.
And I tell you what's nice as well, it's nice to grow them from these little tiny plants rather than keep taking the mature ones from nature, because in Australian places now a lot of states have cut down.
Yes.
Literally cut down on cutting them down. They don't want to take them down anymore because so many have gone. So
Absolutely.
if you can grow one from a little tiny plant yourself, that's brilliant.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, shall we? So, rhododendron, and this is Marcel Menard. So that's this one in the centre here. Let me just pick up that picture for you, because this is, so rhododendrons we grow because you've got evergreen foliage on them, and that is beautiful. But really, the beauty and the joy of having a rhododendron is all about some of the most amazingly showy, look at me flowers.
Yeah, you can hear the buzz of the bees already around those. I mean, look at those stamens there and the pollen, and also, rhododendrons flower at that time in May, pretty much exactly the same time as the ceanothus we've got as well. So if you want to get both of those, you can actually have two fabulous shrubs flowering simultaneously. But yeah, rhododendron, the Marcel Menard, is a stunning rhododendron. Huge, great big clusters of these deep purple flowers, great big, really shiny, lustrous leaves on there as well that are evergreen, so it looks good all the year through.
I like those markings that you get on the petals.
Lovely. Again, I mean, they're probably for the bees. They're kind of
the landing pad.
Landing pad, yeah. Tell the bees where to come in, so they brush the little stamens there, get the pollen on them, and off they go and pollinate another rhododendron. But there's just something about rhododendrons, and funny enough, Stu was just saying in my ear about if you live in Norfolk and Suffolk. I live in Norfolk, and on the way this morning when I drove through, I drive past a place. Just struggle to get that out. Past a place called Gayton, and either side of the road they've got these huge stands of wild rhododendron.
Yeah.
And in May time when they're in full flower, I love it. These have got massive, these rhodies. It looks so fantastic. Rhodies, I mean, they're tough, they're resilient. If you've got acid soil, then you can plant them in your garden along with other things if they're happy. If you haven't got acid soil, they make amazing pot plants.
They
Grow them
do,
into
don't they?
Tubs or containers. Use their ericaceous compost to give them the best start and in life and to sustain them. And if you keep them in pots, keep them somewhere sort of where they get a little bit of sun in the morning and perhaps sun in the evening, but don't put them somewhere where they're going to get baked with really hot sun all day. Rhodie's like a sort of a cool, damp, sort of dappled, semi-shady kind of position generally.
It does affect their flowering ability, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you put them in, because I made a mistake of putting one in full sun in my garden, and back in 2022, when we had that really hot summer, a lot of the leaves got really badly scorched.
Yeah.
So put it somewhere sort of shady-ish, dappled shade, semi-shade, and just enjoy this year after year after year. Enjoy the fabulous flowers in the spring and then the wonderful evergreen foliage for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. It's a stunning one. It's only $9.99. It's half price deal on that one. Extra discount, obviously, for a club member, so it's £8.49 if you are in the club. Make sure you use the code to get that, otherwise you'll be paying the full price of $19.99. That's not what we're about here in the Potted Sheds. We're about bringing you beautiful plants at amazing prices and obviously having a little bit of fun along the way as well. So 511095 is the item number. Go to YouGarden.com to place your order. We do have a few ericaceous plants on the show today. We've got our blueberries, we've got our rhododendron, we've got a Pyrrhus collection, we've got the Chilean lantern over there. So if you are thinking about going for any of these, maybe you need a bag of ericaceous compost. I definitely do. I am buying that Chilean lantern. So this one is the time to get this. We've got a bit of a discount on it for you. We've taken a couple of quid off. Of course, it is $15.29 if you're in the club. So that's a really good price for a 60-litre bag of the ericaceous compost. Your club discount comes off after all the other discounts. So £15.29 on that 60-litre bag. 100042. And by the way, this is something to think about. Our bagged products, most of them, they do tend to be postage included, so no postage to pay on these. So yeah, they normally have to come in a separate order. So anyway, so this might be a way of getting free gifts, multiple free gifts. So if you are buying the rhododendron or any of the others, and you need your ericaceous, do the ericaceous in one order on its own. You'll get an order of your blooming fast. Put the code in to get it. And then do your order for your other things and put the code in. You'll get your free gift. Or maybe the ericaceous is what gets you over the £40 so you don't pay the $6.99 postage. You just need to play with your basket. I know all of the regulars, you all know this, so apologies if I'm boring you, but we are getting lots of new viewers on a regular basis, so I have to keep explaining these things. We want you to get the best value, so just play around with your order. Right. Abelia Kaleidoscope. Now, this one was new to us last year, in actual fact. I hadn't heard about this one before, and we did bring it for a brief period of time. It is a beautiful one. It was really popular. I know a lot of you bought this. To me, it's a bit like, do you know what? It reminds me a little bit of a euonymus, but I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of euonymus. It's not one of my favourite plants. It has a place. Adam's told me off about it. Euonymus can be very, very valuable.
I love them.
This one, I feel, is just a bit extra. It's not a euonymus, by the way. It just reminds me of it.
Yeah, well, what I like about abelias is they are very late summer flowering shrubs, which is good. So quite often we bring you hibiscus, which flower late summer, similar time. So it's nice to have a shrub that gives you flower end of summer into autumn time. Lovely little bell-shaped flowers, masses of flowers as well. This one is an evergreen, which is great. So all the year through, you've got this interesting kind of foliage, and also you've got the foliage that's different colours. So the new foliage comes through these gorgeous sort of
Look
reds
at those
and pinks.
colours.
Yeah, that's just divine, isn't it?
It's quite shiny as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's
got
been
a nice
really
lustre to it.
interesting. The last year or so, Bex, we've been doing YouGarden, because the amount of plants that we bring to people, and so often the new foliage comes through, doesn't it? A lovely sort of red colour or pinky colour, and we've had it with the Pyrrhus, we've had it with the Photinias, so many different shrubs, and this one's the same. You can see on the one in the studio here, we've got these lovely little leaves coming through.
Take that forward,
and
so
isn't
you
it
can
great?
see.
Because even we're just into the second week of January. But how wonderful does that shrub look? So if you imagine, and these do really well in pots, so imagine this in a gorgeous pot or a container, and we've got some gorgeous pots. Just imagine this on your patio this time of year, giving you a bit of interest. That early morning sun, when it comes up, sort of hits this first thing. And even now, it gives you interest, it gives you colour. And this is the worst this plant is going to look. And if it looks that good, second week of January, we can only imagine what it's going to look like come the summer. And then enjoy all that foliage all through the summer, and then just before the end of the summer into autumn, explosion of flowers.
There was a nice shot there actually that was showing on one of the pictures, and there was like a black grass or something in the background, and just that contrast you can get depending on your planting schemes and things, that can work really nicely for you.
Well,
we've got a phormium coming up in a little while,
I'm
which
just going to grab one actually.
might be a nice thing to think about planting together. Just that sort of contrast that you get. Not just because of the colours, but because of the shape of the foliage as well. That's going to work really nicely, isn't it?
I mean, that gorgeous black spiky foliage. Look at that. That works brilliantly, actually,
Looks
Bex.
so nice.
That against that looks really... Of course, they're both evergreen, so, look good all the year round.
That's really good planting, actually. That. This is on my list as well, by the way, the phormium.
This is another thing we've been learning, isn't it, over the last year or so as well, because generally most people, and I'm guilty of it as well, we always tend to think of plants' colour coming from the flowers.
Yes.
But we're learning all the time now that you can get so much colour from foliage.
So much interest.
And a mixture of different foliage colours.
Yep.
And it's there all the time, not like flowers that come and go.
Well, it's the third off today, so it should be $14.99. It's $9.99, or $8.49 if you're in the club. 511508 is the item number for Abelia. Remember, it's YouGarden.com to place your orders, or there is a number on the bottom of the screen there where you can actually speak to a real human being. No way, you can actually speak to human beings.
Really?
Yes, you can.
That's amazing, isn't it?
In this modern world where everything's done online.
Doesn't it drive you mad? I mean, some companies, you literally can't talk to a single human being, can you? It drives you insane.
You can speak to a person if that's your want. Right, let's move on, shall we? We've got... Oh, no, hang on. I've got to let Nathan know something. Nathan at East Coast Tropical. He wants a picture of a specific plant on the nursery. He's looking at one of our statement plants, one of the big ones. Oh, Stu thinks he's found it. A little while ago we did a video, didn't we? Yeah, about the statement plants. I remember doing that, Stu, yeah. It's on the video. Which plant is it? Oh, he wants the hardy fan palm. There you go. I mean, that will be, taller than me. That's going to be about 6 or 7, 7 feet tall, Stu.
Trachycarpus, isn't it?
Trachycarpus, isn't it?
Trachycarpus fortunii.
Stu's going to wind back a little bit so you can get an idea of height. There's me and there's it. I am 5'6", just to give you an idea there.
Hardy down to -22.
-22?
Yeah.
Wow.
They actually originate from the foothills of the Himalayas.
Really?
Yeah, so they're probably one of the hardiest palms in the world.
Yeah, we always say it's one of the hardiest ones, a great one for us here in the UK. Nathan, if you do want any more pictures, send an email to yougarden.com and then we'll go and take some more pictures today and we'll reply for you later on. Hope that helps. Or apparently it might be under a fleece at the moment.
Doesn't need a
I don't
fleece.
know why it doesn't need it. It's
Don't
hardy.
need a fleece. No.
Anyway, 510998 was the item number for the next item we're going to be talking to you about, and this is the one that I wanted to show you because I'm a big fan of forsythia. I love forsythia, and they're about to come into bloom, aren't they? So about February, everything's it's all bare. The gardens are bare.
It's about the barest it can be, isn't it? At that point.
That is the point where it's as bare as it can possibly be.
It's that point where you run out of your house in the afternoon and just scream. Because you've got cabin fever, you've been stuck indoors for so long, you just run around the garden screaming like a lunatic for 10 minutes because you just got it out your system.
That's what Adam does anyway. But for me, forsythia, so I like to think of a plant for every month. Obviously there's more you can add in, but so for example ceanothus would be my May plant. Forsythia is my February plant. This is the one you're going to have in your garden that will give you that garden interest in February at one of the dullest points of the year.
I'm going to say something really, really controversial now.
Oh God, what?
But you're going to draw. You're going to pull it right back because I normally have a massive love-hate relationship with forsythia,
right?
Because they grow so flipping big,
yeah,
and they become these big thuggy kind of things, and then you have to lollipop them, and everybody's going anti-lollipopping things now.
I love lollipops.
I don't mind lollipops,
I love it.
But a lot of people don't. I mean, on social media, some people really, really hate lollipopping things, and the thing is with forsythia, you lollipop it 1 month, within 2 or 3 weeks, and
it's grown again.
They drive me insane. But this one,
exactly, this one's the mini gold, and that's why I'm a big fan of this one in particular.
Me as well.
Forsythia, I love anyway. I just love the bright yellow, and so many of them. Look how many you get.
Yeah.
And it flowers on those bare stems, and it gives you that bright sunshine yellow. You see hot colours in cold months, and it makes you think of sunshine. Obviously, a bright yellow one, you think of warmth, you think of sunshine.
Yeah, you do.
And I think that's really valuable in a winter garden. But this is on a small plant; it doesn't get massive like the big forsythias.
So if you're like Manny, you've just got an apartment, you're 5 floors up. You can actually grow this in a pot, in a container. You can have a forsythia that will remain contained. That's not going to go berserk. That doesn't need clipping 5 times a year and take over. I mean, look how divinely stunning that is in that pot.
I love it.
It's almost like somebody has gone to a really big forsythia, cut off like 5 or 6 branches and just stuck them all in a pot to make that picture. Yeah. But it isn't. That's what this does. That is the real McCoy there that you can see. This is how beautiful this will look on a spring day, and it is probably one of the earliest shrubs to flower in the spring. We're going to bring you another one in a minute that flowers at a similar time, but this is one of the very earliest to flower. And then once it's finished flowering, has lovely, lovely, shiny, healthy, lustrous leaves all the way through the summer. And in the autumn, the leaves actually turn almost the same colour as the flowers, really gorgeous, like autumn colour on forsythia before the leaves finally drop. Tough as old boots, get through any winter. You can grow these from Land's End to John O'Groats. They really, really are almost unkillable, really.
So I'm just, while we're talking about this, and I was talking about the plant for every month. So that's my February one, and I've got my May one, and I'm going to work this out for my new garden. You're going to help me.
I will. I'll try.
But I'm going to pick a bush or a shrub for every month of the year to go into my garden, so that I've got the full year covered with something beautiful. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm going to stick my neck out and I might get slapped down, but we should start doing Bex's Shrub of the Month.
Shrub of the month. Let's do it.
Could be a thing.
Stu says if we write the list, he'll make it happen.
But no, seriously, you could do that. But you actually, we talk about that shrub on there, but you actually have that shrub in your garden.
I'm totally going to do it.
And we're going to do it over 12 months.
There you go.
And then you can put all 12 videos together.
Yeah.
And speed them all up. They look brilliant.
I'm excited. Can't wait. Right, 510998 is the item number. Every single one that you can see in front of us is £9.99. The ceanothus, the abelia, the rhododendron, and the forsythia. So much colour going on. Foliage, flowers. You've got a bit of scent going in there too. Amazing, honestly.
But just quickly before we move on, because we have been told to move on, with these 3, start of the year, flower, middle of the year, flower, end of the year, flower, end of the summer, flower. So, you've got from February to September in these 3 for flowering periods.
I'm so excited. Right, £9.99 or £8.49 if you're in the club. Go onto the website for us, please. So YouGarden.com, where it says live now, click on that button, and then you can scroll down and you can start looking at all of the items we've got selected for the shows this week. Let us know what you're excited about seeing, because we do have quite a lot to get through, so it'd be really good to get your input so that we know what you want to see next. I know, Elaine, I know you mentioned you've placed an order for that angel wings already. I love that angel wings in the centre there. Lovely, gorgeous sort of soft foliage you've got on that, so thank you for that. We'll be bringing that one up soon.
Fantastic.
I know Adam's a fan on that one, aren't you?
Well, it's a great plant to contrast other plants with.
It is, and particularly we're going to bring it up with the formium to show you. But we're going to start over this side now. What are we going to start with? We're going pheasant berry.
Yeah, I think the Lysosteria.
Oh yeah, this one's a really interesting flower on here.
It is, yeah, and these are so easy to grow. I've seen hundreds of these over the years. In fact, I can think of a lady I look after in Swaffham, beautiful one of these just outside her front door. And it has this lovely kind of habit, almost like sort of bamboo-like canes, stems that grow up. And then it sort of slightly kind of arches out the shrub, and then it's smothered in these pendulous flowers that just look beautiful.
They do. I mean, I like the deep colour that you've got on there, but then, you know, the contrast with the lighter colours as well. And the fact that those petals sort of point down, they point down to the ground.
Yeah. There's almost something a little bit Victorian kind of about these flowers in a way. I don't know why. They just kind of just look a bit sort of Victorian to me. But then you get berries on there as well.
Yeah.
And pheasant's eye is or pheasant berry or pheasant eye is another name for this shrub, and that's because the berries are said when they're ripe to resemble the gleam and the shine of a pheasant's eye. So that's kind of where they got their common name from.
Okay.
There's probably other stories as to why that happened, but easy shrub to grow, come back year after year after year. And it's just one of these shrubs that, like Bex mentioned earlier on, each year just take out a few of the flowering stems, allow some of the other new stems to come through. Super drought tolerant, grows almost in any soil. Plant in a nice sunny position, but I've seen these grow in full sun. I've seen them grow in dappled shade. They get to about a couple of metres tall, between sort of 2.5 metres tall. You can prune them right back in the spring if you want to. The one I'm thinking of, I take down to about 2 or 3 feet. About end of March, middle of April, they reshoot really beautifully and they flower on those new stems.
And when was the flowers again, sorry?
The flowers are really from sort of about midsummer,
right,
all the way through to kind of late summer, even autumn.
Okay.
They flower for a long period of time. Yeah,
awesome.
And even once the flowers have gone over and the berries set, you get the interest from the berries as well.
And that'll invite birds in as well, which is important.
Yeah, birds love it. Yeah, but a really easy shrub to grow. Stunning flowers, ease of growth, will grow in almost any soil, almost any position. Just brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Brilliant one, honestly. So £12.99. We have got a big saving on that one, haven't we? Yeah, it's a £12 saving off that one. Check out the size of it, because we've got it in that 3-litre pot. So we've got multi-stemmed here, really big, really nicely established. So that's a great one. You're not buying a 9 centimetre here. You're already growing one that's buying one that's been grown on just that bit further for you.
And I think this one would flower for you this year. I'm pretty sure.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty, because that's really mature plants. So these sort of greener stems, I'll be very surprised if you didn't have some flowers this year already. All
right, 511523 is the item number if you want to go for the Lysosteria, the golden pheasant. Pheasantberry, yeah, golden pheasantberry. Sorry, I was getting myself mixed up with my words then. Next, we've got one of my faves, actually, is the viburnums. I really am a big fan of viburnums, but the Dawn, this one has, I mean, most viburnums have a lovely sweet scent, but I really enjoy the sweet, and it is sweet, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a sweet scent you get from Dawn.
This is flowering right now. This is Viburnum boddenentense Dawn. It's probably one of the most used winter flowering shrubs, and for a really good reason, because you have these wonderful clusters of, well, they start off quite a dark pink when the flowers first open, then they sort of go to a paler pink. But on a mild winter's day, and they are flowering their socks off right now, and they do flower for a good couple of months or so, really sweet fragrance. And I always find it really strange when shrubs decide to flower at the most brutal time of year, but I'm glad they do.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, on a winter's day, when you see one of these in full flower, absolutely beautiful. I mean, sometimes you see even the odd bee that's sort of come out, you know, and just collecting that little bit of pollen and sort of nectar that's available. These are very, very hardy shrubs, bone hardy. They'll get through any winter. I mean, -15, -20, -25, no problem at all. They get to about 2 to 3 metres tall eventually, but you can prune them down, you can prune them back if you want to.
Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they? I mean, they respond quite well to pruning, and you don't need to worry too much. You don't need to be too careful at all.
What I would do is early spring, once the flowers are finished, prune it back probably early spring. Then all the new growth that comes will then give you flowering wood for the following year.
Yeah.
But full sun, sort of semi-shade, dappled shade, pretty much most soils. Basically, if you want to fill a space with a shrub that is easy to grow, doesn't really have any pests or diseases, doesn't need much attention once you plant it, but in the winter time just gives you these gorgeous displays of sweetly scented pink flowers, and the leaves are beautiful as well.
True, yeah.
Really lovely ridged kind of leaves that are slightly different colour underneath to on top. Beautiful shrub, I love it. It's one of my most favourite shrubs.
Well, it's a half-price deal as well, so you are going to get 3 of them. Great to plant in odd numbers. We know how good that can look in a garden space, and it is half price, so £14.99 if you're not in the club, but £12.74 if you're in the club. If you're not in the club, please do consider joining. It costs £10 to join. Your price is then locked in for your lifetime of the membership. So if we put the price up, as long as you keep your auto renewal going, you'll only ever pay £10. But the benefits you get are 15% saving. 15% saving off the plants, the pots, the compost, you know, pretty much everything we bring you from the potting shed has a 15% saving. We've upped that, by the way. It used to be 10%. It's now 15%. You'll also get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year. And a new addition to the club is that you will get 2 vouchers worth £6.99 each, which basically will help to give you a free postage, hopefully, twice a year. And that for any existing club members, when it renews, you'll get those sent out to you. So there's never been a better time to be part of the club. We are so excited about what 2025 is going to bring, and if you're into your gardening, you can save a mountain of money by being, first of all, with us here at YouGarden, but also a member of our club. Right, should we move on then? We've done our viburnum, love that one. What we've got next for you is another thing I've actually got in my garden, and I specifically went for this blueberry collection because we do various different blueberries. We've got a few different varieties, but I went for the collection because my husband's a big fan of blueberries. He loves them. They're very good for you. They're packed with antioxidants. They're delicious. They can be quite expensive in the shops. But this collection actually contains a early, mid and late harvesting variety. So that's why I went for it, because it means that I'll be picking fresh blueberries for longer than I would if I'd just gone for one.
I would say probably about June to September, pretty much, with this mix here, which is great. So you're not going to get 3 plants are all going to fruit immediately at once and perhaps give you more blueberries than what you need, and you can't eat them all. You don't get a glut. So the great thing is, one will flower. Well, they all flower in the spring. And let's just rewind to the flowering, because we think about the fruit on blueberries, but when they flower,
they're really
flowers.
pretty, aren't they?
They are.
Little flowers, but lots of them, and kind of bell-shaped, aren't they?
Yeah, bell-shaped or lantern kind of. Yeah, lantern kind of shaped flowers. Very if you grow Pyrrhus, which we've also got on the show today, very similar kind of flowers to Pyrrhus. So these lovely little clusters of lantern-shaped flowers that look really beautiful in the spring. Obviously, the bees come along. These will sort of pollinate each other anyway, so you're not going to worry about that. But the bees will come along, they'll pollinate the flowers. They will set, they will form these gorgeous fruits for you. And then, as I say, the 3 varieties, first one's going to come online probably sort of mid to end of June, and then the last one is going to fruit for you probably end of July going into September. So a good sort of 3 or 4 months of blueberries. If you've got rhodies, azaleas, all that kind of thing, happily growing in your soil, in your garden itself, you can put blueberries straight into that soil. If you haven't got the acid soil, get some of ericaceous compost, grow them in containers. They love being in containers. They grow really well in containers. And you don't really need to do much with them either. Just pretty much leave them. All I would do with blueberries, and I'm going to start growing blueberries because John and I, my husband, we bought a little extra piece of land behind us. So we're going to grow a little bit more fruit and vegetables. I want to try growing blueberries because I have blueberries quite often with my breakfast every morning, blueberries and grapes with yoghurt and stuff. I want to grow my own. And I'm going to grow them in pots because I haven't got acid soil.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. So you do actually get 3 pots with them. There are Torinos, the little square sort of 4.5 litre ones, and they're great to get them started in. You can put them in there, get them going, but you will need to put them on fairly rapidly. So I got these however long ago. It was last year, actually. I planted them in about sort of April time, just last year. But I put them straight into our heavy-duty pots.
Are they here? Just at the end of the bench. Is that?
End of the bench.
End of the bench, just at the end.
Oh, here, you're right. I'm so sorry. Here they are. Apologies. Stu's mouthing words at me. These are the Torino pots you'll get. So you can plant them in there and grow them on. But to be perfectly honest, if Stu's got the video, I don't know if he has, I planted them into our heavy-duty pots. I just put them straight into there. And they have grown so much within that summer season.
I did think, and it might be because these have been kept around the glass, don't they normally drop their leaves?
They, to be honest, mine have held on to a few. They are deciduous, they will drop their leaves, but mine actually have held on to quite a few of their leaves as well. So, oh, that's my apple teeny.
So it almost could be semi-evergreen.
So that's when I first planted these, OK? So those are my blueberries in the ericaceous compost.
Look at the little flowers.
Yeah, they can see the flowers there.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And those are in the heavy-duty pots there. So those pots are each 35 litres. So
30
litres.
Yeah, 30 litre
and
ones,
look,
aren't they?
that's them just in autumn. So I think that video was in October. Look how much they have grown.
They've grown like...
And that was April to October. That was 6 months.
You're really good at... You're a brilliant gardener, you. You have got some seriously green fingers.
But you know what? I didn't have to do much. I planted them in ericaceous compost. They are in the sunniest spot in my garden. They're against the conservatory there, a nice southwest facing.
They like to be kept moist, though, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I kept on top of the watering, absolutely.
Kept well watered.
And that's the amount of growth that I got in 6 months from April to October.
But another thing about that picture you just showed as well is their third facet for me is those fabulous autumn colours you get with blueberries as well.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
They have
That's why I did that video.
Yeah, they have some of the most mind-blowing autumn colours of any plant you can think of. I mean, really vivid oranges and reds and so on. So, yeah, so just to recap on these, beautiful, as you saw, Bex there, lovely lantern-shaped flowers in the spring that the bees and pollinating insects love. Then you get the fruit, and there's 3 varieties here, giving that fruit period from June to perhaps about September. And then once you think it's all over, well, it isn't, because then you get that fiery, wonderful autumn display of foliage colour as well. So, you know, absolutely beautiful, beautiful plants, these, and real fun to grow.
Yeah, they are, and I can't wait to be eating those fresh off the plants. But also, do remember, you can freeze blueberries, so if you do get lots and more than you can eat, then you can actually freeze them, and then you can grab a handful as and when you need them. Yeah, don't forget, you are getting your compost included in here. So you're getting a 60-litre bag. So bear in mind, this deal is amazing. You're getting the pots, you're getting the compost, and you're getting your 3 blueberry plants included in there as well.
Is this the one we're seeing, a 60-litre bag? This
yeah,
one,
that's a 60-litre.
So you're literally getting that bag there.
And that's the price for it on its own right now, by the way, $17.99 or $15.29 if you're in the club. So if you just need your ericaceous, that is a saving. You will need to pot these on into larger pots, so it might be worth grabbing hold of a few bags of your ericaceous while we've got that deal on them, whilst we've got that saving. Apparently I need to help somebody, or we need to help somebody on Facebook. Helen, she has a question. She says, can I get some apricot shades for my hanging baskets? Oh yes, apparently you can pre-order those. So type apricot shades into the website, you'll find the ones you want, and then, oh, apparently there's one with a 50% saving. Yeah, why not? How are they coming? Oh, Pro Plugs. Ooh, those are good ones. I was thinking about doing apricot shades for my hanging baskets this year. Yeah, the Pro Plugs are just the smaller plug plants, so you need to just grow them on a little bit on your windowsills. Yeah, there's videos on the website as well, so we can show you what they look like, how to put them on, how to look after them. They need protection from frost, these ones. But you can get them. You can pre-order if you want to. We will be bringing them to you in the potting shed, I'm sure, in the coming months when they're in stock. So if you want to get yours in, you know, your order in and reserved, as soon as they are available, they will be dispatched to you. So they are available.
To think all those sort of things are all coming back. You know, only seen 5 minutes ago we were talking about tulips and daffodils, and now now we're talking about begonias, and we're talking about all these spring flowers.
Can't wait.
It's a good time of year. I love it.
Can't wait.
So good.
All right, so yes, hopefully that helps. That was Helen, wasn't it? So there you go, Helen. Go onto the website, type in apricot, and you'll be able to find them there. Grimmy, hello. Apparently you've joined us in the chat. Good morning to you. He says, sorry for being late. That's absolutely fine, Grimmy. We won't hold it against you. And as you know, of course, as being a regular, if you want to, you can rewind and start from the beginning, or you can stay with us and be with us while we're live, and then go and watch the rest at another time. It's up to you. I'm sure we'll repeat what we've said. So, right, let's move on, shall we? Oh, you like this one? This is your favourite. This is our lilac, but this is called Madame Lemoine.
It is. Well,
Lemoine.
Funny enough, I've got. I'm trying not to talk about it really, but I've got a really big birthday coming up next month, and one of the things I've requested is a lilac. Is Madame Lemoine lilac.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
That's one of the things on my list. And also I want one of those Prunus Anna McGower, one of the... really,
Anna McGower.
Yeah.
The tall, narrow.
Yeah, I want one of those, because I've always wanted one of those, but I've never been able to fit it in the current garden, but now we've got this extra bit of space. I've got space for that. So, but Syringa Madame Lemoine, it is divine. Our most successful garden that we did at the Chelsea Flower Show, we had one of those.
Oh yes, did you know Adam's a Chelsea Flower Show gold medal winner? 4 golds, a couple of silvers.
Yeah.
Won't talk about them. It's brilliant achievement. The only reason I say this is because him and John were mad that they got silvers. One thing is, you've won 4 golds, and you're like, yes, we're on a roll, let's do it, and then you get a silver.
Yeah, well,
I get
there you go. Sometimes you need to be brought back down to earth.
Didn't it go a little bit like viral or something or other?
Yeah,
because you got really mad.
Yeah, we just walked off. Yeah.
On an interview.
Yeah, because they were giving us the medals live, and bear in mind, we'd won 3 gold medals in a row, and then this 4th year we did it, and we're waiting there for the medals, and it's all being filmed live, and they come on with the medal cards and they're face down, and they kind of lifted the card up and handed it to us, and we both looked at it, and it was like, oh,
what?
And they said to me, what do you think? And I just went, gutted. and John just said. John just said, I'm off. So John just walked off around the back of the garden. And then I just followed him. And then we got around the back of the garden. I said to John, well, at least they're not going to show that on TV, are they? They showed it about 9 times that day. but in the end, the amount of publicity it created for the garden we did was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, it actually got more publicity than if we'd won a gold medal.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, because everybody saw we'd stropped and showed off, and it all went a bit, kind of a bit viral. But
I love that.
But in that, I digress. But in that, in one of our other gardens, in one of our gold medal winning gardens, that was the one where we got gold, and we got the BBC RHS People's Award, and we got best gardening category. That was the best one we ever did.
That's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good.
All the possible awards you could get in one Chelsea. We had this Madame Lemoine, and it is divine. It is a double flowering, super sweet, incredible lilac. If you love lilac, and you've only got room for one lilac, please go for Madame Lemoine, because it really is divine. For a good sort of 3 or 4 weeks, these pure white heads of flower, intoxicating sweet fragrance. And lilac, it's so tough. It grows pretty much anywhere. In fact, lilacs do quite well on limey soils as well. So if you've got quite chalky soil, they do well on chalky soils. But lilacs pretty much do well anywhere. Come back year after year after year. You can prune them back after flowering if you want to keep them in size. And the new growth that comes will give you flower the following year. Or if you've got space, you can just leave them to grow into almost like smallish kind of trees. But every May, you just get these beguiling, beautiful heads of white flower. Beautiful fragrance.
I do love white.
Yeah, I absolutely adore that time of year when you're driving around and all the lilacs are coming out everywhere. And it is that time pretty much similar to when the rhododendrons come out, to when the ceanothus come out. It's that time of year where almost every street you go down has got some shrub flowering, isn't it? There's colour everywhere. It's such a contrast to where we are now, but it's all to play for. And once you've got this could be in your garden for 40, 50, 60 years. I mean, lilacs are long-lived, beautiful trees, or small trees or shrubs.
Fabulous. And it's in a 17 centimetre pot, so it is a bit more established. It is $14.99, $12.74 in the club. We have taken £5 off that, and do remember you're getting that 15% discount as being a club member, which is up from 10%, which is what we used to do, but we're now getting 15% discount. So if you're not a club member already, now's the time to join. Go for it. You'll get all of these membership discounts, and of course we're here every single week, except for a little hiatus, little little break that we have over Christmas, we are here every week on a Thursday morning and a Sunday morning, because gardening is all year round. I know that it quietens down a little bit, but there's always jobs you can be doing. Right, let's finish this table off, and then we're going to review some of the items. Adam's going to then change over the table for us so that we can show you even more of the amazing plants that we have selected. If you want to get ahead, go onto the website, YouGarden.com. If you actually put your code in, like put something in your basket, anything in your basket, and put your code in, and then come back to this page. All of these items, all the prices that you can see, those will be the prices that you will pay. It just makes it a little bit easier for browsing. Check out our deal of the week, which is the Four Seasons Heather collection. 3 of them in 12 centimetre pots, 9 centimetre pots, 9 centimetre pots, £7.97.
Can I just check something with you, because you know I'm about as technical as an amoeba.
Let's try it.
So to do that, you will need to just put one thing in first.
Yeah, I think you have to put something in your... Yeah, you can't enter your code until you've got something in it. So just put something, even if you don't intend to buy it, just put something in your basket, enter the code, and then come back to this show page.
And then if you didn't want that item, you can just delete it or
of course, you can just delete it once you put your basket
Cool.
together. Also, it's well worth logging in as well, because then when you look at your basket, you'll already have your you'll see your membership discounts as well. Right, let's move on then. So I call this Keenamales, you call it Chenomales.
Chenomales,
you call it whatever you like.
It doesn't matter.
We could just call it the ornamental quince or the orange trial.
Yeah,
whatever you want.
We can agree on that, can't we?
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
I like Keenamales, but anyway, here we go. I meant trail. I read it wrong. Right, so yes, this is the double up deal for you on the Chenomales. You can get 2 of them if you want. They are in the 2-litre pots, as you can see, so really nicely established. 2 for $15.99, or you can just go for the 1 if you want to.
And they've got flower buds on.
They have, haven't they?
You can see them. Look down.
Look, there's green growth coming in there. Look.
Just below there. See these little bobbly these.
Yeah. And loads of them. There's loads of them.
They're so they're going to flower. Now Stu just said it's thorny. It is a thorny shrub.
It is. It's
which
great.
is quite good for security as well. So if you're thinking of you want to grow a bit of a thorny hedge or something to keep unwanted anybody out.
I used to say this, so my mum and dad live in a house. Do you know what? They live in Coningsby. I'm going to say it. There's a big RAF station there, so we live on the main road that leads up to the RAF station. And when the RAF guys and girls had been out doing their little pub crawls around Coningsby, they used to walk back and they used to do this thing called hedge diving.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. My sister and I used to sit in her bedroom at night time, because she had the bedroom at the front. We used to sit in her bedroom at night time watching them all, because it was hilarious. It was funny. But they would...
hilarious if it's not your hedge.
Yeah. But they would come and they would dive into people's hedges in the front gardens. My dad was getting a bit annoyed with it. So I don't know what plant he planted, but it could have been this. He planted one with great big spikes.
Might be pyracantha.
Something.
Oh, God, if you dived in that...
Yeah, they stopped doing it after that.
No, you'd never do that again.
They stopped.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one kind of has the same kind of effect, but this is, again, a very early spring flowering shrub. This could flower pretty much the same time as forsythia. In fact, they do most years. Good thing about this, it is remarkably...
Well, they'd work nicely together as well.
They do, yeah. I mean, this is remarkably tough, this shrub. It will grow in shade as well. It'll actually grow in a north-facing position. In fact, it will pretty much grow anywhere.
Right.
They really, really are daft tough. They're not really fussy about soil. If you put it in a sunnier position, you might get more flowers, but it'll still flower in a shady position. Once you've planted it, just forget about it. Just leave it. Again, it's one of these plants that you can do different things with. If you want to, you can train it to grow upright on some trellis.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, just leave it and it will just sprawl and kind of spread sideways over the ground.
OK, so it doesn't need support.
It doesn't need support, but you can train it.
But you could if you want to.
Like, you know the euonymus that you're not a big fan of?
Yeah.
Euonymus will do that. Yeah, you can grow euonymus as ground cover. Quite often, if they hit a wall or a vertical surface, they'll start to grow. They'll start to grow vertically.
Yeah, they used to do that because I had one in the garden. It used to grow up the fence.
Yeah. So and this will do the same thing. So, but it's once you planted it, it'll come back 20, 30, 40 years, and every spring before the leaves come out, the stems are smothered in these beautiful,
I love that.
deep
flowers
red flowers
before foliage.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I like it. There's something about it that talks to me. I love that.
Well, the
it's
forsythia
brave,
does the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the forsythia. And I've got a bit of a theory on that, and I might be wrong, and it's just something I'm making up. But I've got a bit of a theory on that I think a lot of plants flower without foliage at the beginning of the year because they want to make their flowers so obvious as possible to the very small amount of pollinating insects.
That are there, yeah.
So if they've got foliage, they might actually obscure the flower. So, it's like few pollinating insects around. I just want you to see my flowers, nothing else.
Yeah.
And that's what you see on the forsythia and on the Schnommeles as well. So again, if you want an early flowering shrub that flowers for a good few weeks, and like the ceanothus we mentioned earlier on, this one as well also occasionally throughout the year also throws out a little flush of red flowers at other times of the year. But beautiful plant, tough, robust, frost hardy, grows anywhere, needs no attention. But every spring it will just welcome you an absolute mass of these beautiful deep red flowers and those wonderful, wonderful yellow stamens.
All right, well, it's up to you how many you go for. You can just go for one if you want to. We've got a saving. It should be $12.99, so it's $9.99. So we've taken £3 off, or $8.49 if you're in the club. But of course, if you want to, you will get a bigger saving by going for two, because it's just an extra, £6 for the second one on that double up deal. So if you do want to take advantage of that, put both in your basket and enter the code. That's where you'll see the saving of the pricing. It's $13.59 if you're in the club for two of them. 510957. Right, we're going to remind you of some of the items that you've seen already. Adam's going to change the table over. We've still got lots to show you. So pens and papers if you want to make a note of some of the item numbers, and then we'll come back and show you a little bit more. Starting off with our ceanothus, the plant for May. If you want May colour and flowers in your garden, then ceanothus is a fantastic one. Evergreen shrub, but then it gets covered in these bright lilac-y blue, I mean they are really quite blue, coloured flowers on here. Pollinators love them, super easy to grow, and this is the lower growing one. If you plant it in a more shady position, if you plant it in a sunny position, it will be low growing. If you plant it in a shady position, it will grow a little bit taller. 510886. Chilean lantern. The Chilean lantern tree needs ericaceous compost, so do consider this if you want to plant it into your garden. You will need ericaceous soil. If you keep it in a pot, obviously that's fine. We've got a deal on the ericaceous as well. Can grow in sun or in a shady position. 510165 is the item number, and a £3 saving on that one. Mandazzo, pink pussy willow, yes please, love that. It's a buy one get one free, so use your code to get the second one for free. Put one in your basket. It's $9.99 or $8.49, and bear in mind you will get two of those, so that really brings that price down to something amazing. And they are pink, which is what is unusual and beautiful about these. They will get a yellow flush on them as the pollen comes in, but I do adore a pink pussy willow, and they like a moist soil, so bear that one in mind as well. 510641 is the item number. And next we've got, the Dixonia. So that's mine after about a year. It comes to you in a 9-centimetre pot. Do keep it in a lovely shady position. They like moist soil. That's it after about 18 months. It's looking even bigger and better now. So I love it. Please do think about it, because this is something you'll have in your garden. Well, for years. It'll be a heritage plant. You'll pass it on to your children or your grandchildren. 500243 is the item number. Oh, a mojo berry. This is a bit new and new for us this year. It's self-fertile. It won Plant of the Year at Chelsea Flower Show in 2017. Flowers on old and new growth, and you'll get those beautiful mojo berries, the mulberries. They are delicious, juicy, and sweet. And when they turn that lovely dark black colour, that's when they're ready to pick and eat. Oh, look, a lovely crumble. Love a crumble. Right, Sun Gold is next. We've got the Buddleia. Double up deal available where you can get two of them. One for $9.99, or the second one just for an extra £5. So you'll have two of those. Obviously $12.74. Thank you, Stu. $12.74 if you're in the club for the double up deal. Something just a little bit different when it comes to buddleia. You'll have those lovely, and they're ball-shaped clusters of flowers rather than the sort of conical shape, which I quite like as well. So yeah, something just a little bit different if you fancy buddleia in your garden. 510031 is the item number. Use the offer code. You must use the offer code to get any of these deals. Double ups, buy one, get ones, savings. That's how you access it, and you'll get a free gift in your basket of the Blooming Fast. Everyone gets it. Don't matter what you buy. Even if you're shopping the rest of the web, by the way, you don't just have to shop what we're bringing you. You can shop the entire web, and you'll get that free gift and free postage if you get your order to over £40. Next, we've got the Abelia. It's called Kaleidoscope, and you can see why, can't you? Because you do get a kaleidoscope of colour on the foliage. There's lovely greens and creams and yellows, but you're going to get oranges and reds and burgundies, and it's a late summer flowering shrub as well, so you'll get those lovely white flowers on there as well. It's in a 2-litre pot, so really nicely established, and we've taken a third off the price. £8.49 if you are in the club. I love that planting. You can see that black grass in the background there. Quite like that as a contrast. 511508 is the item number. Now, it's about time, if you haven't got one, that you put a rhododendron in your garden, because by planting it now, you are going to get the full beauty of it for this year, because in about April, these burst into bloom, and these really are quite stunning. These can get quite big as well, can't they, the Marcel? They work great in a pot too. If you want to keep them in a pot, that'll be absolutely fine, but they will create a lovely border plant. Dappled shade position is the perfect place, and they do need the ericaceous compost. We've got the deal on the ericaceous today, the 60-litre bag, so do add a couple of those into your basket. £9.99 half price, or £8.49 if you're in the club. 511095 is the item number, and go to YouGarden.com to place your order. Adam's favourite, it's the Syringa vulgaris, the Madame Lemoine. I think, so it's named that because she was the wife of a breeder or something. I was reading about that, and that's where it got its name from. But you're getting those pure white flowers on there, the lovely scent that you get from lilac. You can cut those flowers, you can bring them indoors. You could grow it in a pot, but to be perfect vulgaris, it's a bit bigger. It wants to be out in the border somewhere. 17cm pot, so nicely established. $14.99, $12.74 if you're in the club. Forsythia, my pick of the show today. Flowers on the bare stems, but actually this one's the mini gold, so this one will not get too big at all, not like those massive, great big hulking Forsythias you can get. This one should only ever get to, I think it's about 1.5 meters in height and spread here. Flowers on the bare stems are beautiful, bright yellow in about sort of mid to late February. That's when it's normally blooming for you. 510998 and a third off the price. Pheasantberry, oh yeah, these flowers are unusual and beautiful, dark sort of maroon colour, and a lovely contrast with those pinky coloured ones in there as well. It's 511523, and it's almost half price. We've taken £12 off that one. It's £11.04 if you are in the club. Use that code to get your saving. We've also got viburnum. Oh yeah, the dawn. Love the scent from this one. So you get a really sweet, sort of honey-y, vanilla-y scent from this. And again, it's another one that flowers on those bare stems. And it does it in winter, which is just amazing. Very brave, very pretty plant for you, flowering for ages as well. And a half-price deal. We've got a $14.99 or $12.74 in the club. And you will get 3 of them, which is important for lovely planting schemes. And finally, the quince. Oh yeah, the Kinomales, or Chinomales as Adam calls it. We just showed it to you, and it's available as that double up deal. 2 of them for £15.99. 510957 is the item number. So hopefully you've got everything that you need there. You've got your list, you've got your pen and paper, and you've written all those down. We've still got loads to show you, but the new thing, the thing to tell you about, is our club membership. We have improved it. It's bigger and better. It's new and improved. If you're not a club member already, then have a little listen to myself and Sean telling you all about it.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
So there you go. That tells you everything that you need to know about the new club membership. It is better. It's bigger and better. It's more improved. We're giving you more savings. You're getting extra vouchers included. So if you're not a club member already, do come and join our... God, it must be 50,000 now, Stu. Surely we'll have to do another count. It was over 45,000 members of the club. So we'll see if we can find out how many we've got there now. They can't all be wrong, can they? They are all getting those amazing benefits. So we'd love for you to be part of our community. So think about adding your club membership to your order today. Right, we've got some emails that have come in. So let's have a little look, shall we? So Dave, he says photos today. Lovely. And we've got 4 today.
Oh, that's indoors, isn't it? Through the window.
Oh, is that indoors?
Or in conservatory. That's amaryllis, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You're right. Sorry. I thought that was outdoors.
So did I for a minute.
I was getting all...
Yeah, that threw me for a minute.
Is that an amaryllis?
Yeah, it's a double flowering amaryllis.
That's beautiful.
Well, I think, is it strictly speaking, they're hippiastrums, aren't they? But we call them amaryllis.
We call them amaryllis, don't we? Stu, are you there? I'm not mirroring, that's why. Hang on. There we go. We should be able to see that one now. Apologies. Dave has sent us a picture of his beautiful amaryllis for us to have a look at. That is a beautiful view as well. Look at the sunshine streaming in.
Nice to see the blue sky, isn't it?
It's nice, isn't it? I do love these days when it's bright and crisp. I know it makes it cold.
We've got loads coming up, actually, for the next couple of weeks.
It's lovely, isn't it?
A lot of dry blue days.
Let's have a look at what else he's sent us.
That is stunning, that amaryllis. That's really, really beautiful.
Oh, yeah, just another picture of the amaryllis. Oh, he's got our pots in the background there as well. I just noticed those. I've got those ones. Diablo, that's what they were called. Very pretty, Dave. Looking very nice. What are the other two? Are they amaryllis as well? Oh, these ones are nice.
They're nice. Yes.
Wow.
I love the red. Look at the red around the edge of the
petal.
petal.
Yeah, that outline around the edge and that lovely green in the centre.
It's great, isn't it, to be able to have sort of indoor bulbs that you can, get that colour from this time of year.
Actually.
Yeah, because, we're all...
Is that the Christmas star? I think that looks like our Christmas star one.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, Dave, looking good. Thank you for those.
Obviously a real fan, a big amaryllis fan.
I should have grown some amaryllis. Right, so Penny said... Oh, here we go. One of my 17 hanging baskets from this summer garden, ready cascading begonias, but I can't remember the name of the ones at the bottom. Oh, that is...
It is... It's going to drive me mad. Oh, for goodness sake. Yes.
Pothos.
Lophos.
Lophos, that was it. Lophos
That's
red wine. Yeah, well done, Stu.
That's only because you've got a brilliant memory, though, Stu.
He has got an amazing...
You've got
Stu's got like an it's called eidetic memory or something or other. He says he's losing it as he's getting older, but Stu just needs to read something and it's in his head and he can recall it. We are not that way built, are we?
It's kind of in our head, but you remember those old-fashioned things you used to have on desks that used to flick through?
Roller deck things.
Yeah, that's how our brain works.
Yeah, we have to flick through it a little while.
To get to it.
Yeah, Lophos, red wine, beautiful. Love that. That looks absolutely gorgeous, Penny. So yeah, hopefully you can get some more low-fos. We will have it again, I'm sure.
That's brilliant the way they've done that. I love the way it's given that basket just that extra kind of shape and definition. Was that an easy fill basket?
It looks like it probably could
be. I reckon it could be an easy fill.
We can't tell if it is.
Because it gives you that chance in it to put the other plants in at the bottom. That is probably one of the most beautiful hanging baskets I've seen, in recent years.
I like it. It's simple.
Yeah, it's simple, but
and
it's
actually
brilliant.
that simplicity is what makes it perfect.
It's almost a bit of a heart shape, all in all. Beautiful, stunning.
Very nice, Penny. There you go. Right, so thank you very much for sending your emails. If you want to send any pictures there, or you've got any questions, you want us to try and identify something, we'll do our best. So it takes a little while sometimes to wake up the memory banks, but we'll do our best too. The email address is on the bottom of the screen, yougarden.com. We are on YouTube as well, so I can monitor the chat here and still have a little look on Facebook. So if you want to join in, then do come and join us. Yeah, whatever works, basically. Stu's just reminded me, you can watch us on your big telly if you want to. You might already know this, but you might be watching on your phone or your tablet. But if you've got a smart telly that's got Netflix and iPlayer and all that sort of stuff on, you'll probably have YouTube on there. So all you have to do is click on YouTube, type in the search bar up at the top, YouGarden, and press enter, and it'll pop up, and you can just watch us on like normal telly, basically. So have a little look, and if you subscribe to the YouGarden YouTube channel, you won't need to keep searching for us. It'll just be there. It's a really good way to watch.
A lot of yous going on there, wasn't there?
YouGarden YouTube. Yeah. What are you holding on to there, Adam?
Oh, pencil cypress.
I know, it smells good, doesn't it?
It's called pencil cypress because they make pencils out of the wood.
You're talking nonsense. We're coming back to that one in a minute. What are we doing first, Stu? We're going to go to the angel wings.
Marvellous.
Elaine has spotted this one already, and I think she said that she'd put this one into her basket already. It's a Senecio angel wings. I actually really do enjoy these because they've got a lovely kind of frosted colour to them, but they're quite tactile as well. They've got a really soft finish to them. You won't be able to walk past it without touching it.
I mean, they are dramatic. I mean,
they are, aren't they?
And actually, where we've got that place next to the formium as well, you can see there, it's one of those plants.
We did think about that one,
yeah,
didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we planned that. We did, honestly. So you can get that fantastic contrast between that really sort of silvery grey. And these are evergreen as well. I look after a gardening Swaffham just across the road from me. And my customer's got some of these actually flowering in his, not flowering, well, they do flower. They have little clusters of yellow flowers, little yellow kind of daisy-shaped flowers, because I remember the Senecio family and they all have those kind of yellow flowers. But yeah, so they have the yellow flowers and you have these really dramatic silvery grey leaves that look good all the year through. And it can be a plant you could plant on its own if you wanted to, as a statement plant, or as Bex is doing at the moment. Bex is going to pop it in a pot at the moment, and look at that. I mean, that is a pretty damn good contrast, isn't it, Bex? That
I like that. I mean, we've got loads. The helix planters, any of the, I think a dark coloured pot, any of the dark coloured pots we've got, because that will really highlight those that lovely light coloured foliage there.
And I think, if you planted that in the garden as well, another thing you could do, you could underplant that with the black snake grass, the Ophiopogon.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be a really good
Well, this was sort of why we put it next to
the
the formium, so you could plant the formium and you could underplant the formium with the angel wings, or as you say, plant that and underplant with the it's called Ophiopogon, isn't it?
The Ophiopogon, yeah,
that one.
But summer bedding as well. If you imagine you had this in a centre pot and you planted red geraniums around it, or blue lobelia, or something like that.
Well, this is why I love this plant, because actually it does give you so much contrast, either with the bright colours in your garden or these lovely darker foliage plants.
Yeah, and that's what
you can do with it.
That's what I like. And the leaves, the leaves have a lovely sort of feel to them as well, almost like cat's ears.
Yeah.
Almost feel a bit like sort of cat's ears. They're really kind of lovely, soft, kind of furry foliage. But a dramatic plant, a really incredibly dramatic plant, but a plant, as I say, that you can do so many things with in combination with other plants.
Yeah, definitely. 450169 is the item number. We are saving £3 on that one, £9.99, £8.49 if you're in the club. You might want to multi-order on that one and create, I don't know, whatever display you want to do. It can be in a pot, or you could have them in a line through your border with something darker in front or behind, or something brightly coloured. Whatever works for you. That's what gardening is all about.
It's
a bit of trial and error.
Massive family Senecio as well.
You
do that Senecio house plant, don't you? That's got the little ball shape.
Rolianus.
Yeah, and that couldn't be more different.
I know.
Visually.
Yeah.
if you tried, could it? But all in the same family.
All in the same family, absolutely. Right, let's move on to the Formium then. We did think about this one. We did plan this one. It wasn't an accident, but this could be something that you could do together with the angel wings. Now, Formium Black Velvet. I love a Formium. I don't have one in my garden yet. It's going on my list. But I really like this one because of that dark foliage.
Yeah.
You've got the almost black foliage on here. It creates some really stunning flowers as well once it gets established, doesn't it?
And they can get up to 2 or 3 metres tall.
Yeah.
Almost sort of shaped like bird of paradise.
They are, yeah.
Type flowers. Not quite so dramatic. Well, they are dramatic, but not quite so colourful, but still dramatic. But really, it's the foliage that you want to go for with these. This is Formium 10X Black Velvet. These originate from parts of the world like New Zealand and places like that, but they do fantastically well.
Oh, these called New Zealand flax.
Yeah, New Zealand flax, is another name for them. The Polynesians used to actually use them to weave baskets and make material and stuff like that. The leaves are really, really tough, really robust. In the last sort of 20, 30 years, they've taken off massively in the UK, and there's so many different colours. I mean, some are bright orange, some are red, some are pinky colour. This one is almost black, and you can see in the picture there, you know, when you get the sun hit this, it really is dramatic. If you was to, there's 3 of these, so if you put these in a sort of a group, I mean, space them out, probably give them about 1 metre or so in between each one, but space them out, and when these mature, if you can then plant something in front of these with a contrasting colour, something that perhaps with, you know, sort of the grey foliage or the angel wings as we've done here, or something, you know, with quite bright flowers, you can create that real drama. You can grow these in pots. They make fabulous container plants. Really, really happy in pots, and they don't mind being really pot bound as well. Super drought tolerant. Really, really drought tolerant. Frost tolerant, other than the most ultimately cold winter, but yeah, really tough as old boots. Brilliant plants.
Awesome, and you are getting 3 of them, as we know, planting in those odd numbers. It really does work when it comes to your garden design. It's $19.97, $16.97 if you are in the club, and the item number is 511518. YouGarden.com to place your order, and make sure you use the code YGTV0225 is the code for this week. That's how you get your saving. You can order on the phone if you want to. Doesn't matter what you're ordering, whether it's via the show or whether it's via the rest of the website, absolutely anything you want, you can use our code. You'll still get the free gift included. You'll still get free shipping over £40 as well. Doesn't matter what you're shopping for. Right, next we've got our Deutzia, the raspberry sundae. And this one, I like the clusters of flowers and the graduation of the colour that you get, because and I think it's a classy pink. Okay, this isn't a brash pink, it's a very classy pink that you're getting on here. Yeah,
and I agree with you, Bex, as well, on the fact that the flowers, you know, you've got the edge of the petals there that are flush with that deeper coloured pink, and then as you move into the centre of the flower, it kind of fades down to a lighter pink, almost white in the middle. Another great thing about this one is its compact habit. This only gets to about 60 centimetres tall, perhaps 1 metre maximum. But you can see it growing there in that pot. I mean, it looks beautiful in that pot. This is a sort of a mid-spring to early summer flowering shrub. Yeah. Flowers a similar time to Philadelphus, which, funny enough, we're going to be talking about in a minute. And sometimes people get the two confused because the flowers can look quite similar on a Deutzia to a Philadelphus. They're not a million miles apart, especially the more single-flowered ones. But this is a tough shrub. It will grow in a pot fantastically. It will grow in a border fantastically. Plant it somewhere sunny, well-drained. It's not particularly fussed about soil. It will get through the coldest, nastiest, most awful winters, no problem at all. It's long-lived. It will come back year after year after year after year. Probably flower for you for a good sort of 4 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks. And again, sometimes Deutzias, like so many other shrubs, just occasionally, a little later in the summer, throw out another few little clusters of flowers here and there. Beautiful, beautiful leaves on their lovely ridged, dark green, sort of heavily veined leaves are really a lovely foil for the flower. Again, like so many of our plants, because this is hardy, it will have the little snowflake symbol. So again, you've got that lifetime guarantee with this. Yeah, perfect. You are going to get 3 of them. As Adam said, they're quite compact, so these are perfect for putting in pots and dotting around your patios. But if you want to plant them into your borders, you can do. They're relatively
They're relatively low growing, so they're not going to take over the borders. I'd probably go sort of mid-border, mid to front with these ones. So yeah, 3 of them, $17.97, $15.27 if you are in the club. Next, we've got our deal of the week. Now, deal of the week represents amazing value for money, because obviously we've created a bit of a deal out of it, and it is the Four Seasons Heather collection. You're going to get 3 varieties included in here. It's only £7.97 or $6.77 if you are in the club.
Did somebody once say they were going to do a tune for Deal of the Week?
Yeah, it's never happened.
We're still waiting, aren't we?
In my head, I still sing Deal of the Week.
We're still waiting for that certain person to do the tune for Deal of the Week. Stu?
So we do have brilliant value for money on here. And if you want to do sort of easy maintenance gardening that's going to give you colour, fragrance, foliage all year round, obviously not all 3 at the same time, but you will get such easy gardening by planting heather. My mum's just done it, okay, so they're getting a little bit older. They've got a massive front garden, they've got a massive back garden, so they can't keep on top of it all anymore. So what she's done in the front garden is really turn it into a very low maintenance one, and she's planted loads of heather out there, and it's beautiful.
Yep, ground cover as well, weed suppressing, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
And that little picture we saw just there, on the left-hand side, as you drive into YouGarden, there's a whole bed of heathers.
Looks
that
beautiful.
Look just like that.
Nobody has to do anything to it either. It just looks good all the time.
Yeah, nobody touches them, do they? And as you say, all the year through, they look good either from the foliage colour or from the flower colour. Absolutely amazing. These do require sort of
irrigation.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 types in. There's these type. These are ericas, and these are calunas, and they have slightly different flower.
You can tell by the foliage.
Yeah, and slightly different foliage. Now, ericas are a little bit more sort of slightly more tolerant of a limey soil. They'll kind of sort of cope roundabouts neutral, but the calunas, these ones here, they actually do prefer an acid soil. So again, if you've got that sort of soil in your garden, plant them in the garden and they'll do fine. And to be honest, ericas, over the years, I've seen them growing in all sorts of gardens all over the place, and they do really well. And they do ground cover beautifully. So I wouldn't sort of fret too much on that, to be honest. But the good thing about these, you're going to get flower at different times of the year. You've always got the evergreen foliage. You've got the ground cover. You've got the weed suppression with these as well. You've got 0 maintenance. They
don't even need any pruning. There's nothing.
No, I mean, once in a blue moon, if you wanted to, you could just clip them over with shears over the top. I wouldn't even do that. Just if you've got somewhere you just want to plant and leave, and you just want just to see colour or interest all the year through, go for these. They're simple.
Yeah, and they are a killer deal for you at £7.97 or $6.77 if you're in the club. So you don't need to think too hard about that one. 511 622 is the item number if you want to get our deal of the week. And finishing on this table, we've got our Philadelphus. This is the mock orange, it's known as, and this one is called Virginal. And I think it's to do with that pure white flower that you get on here. For me, this is about that pure white flower, but it's also about that lovely scent that you get from a Philadelphus. Because it's beautiful, isn't it?
I mean, mock orange, and is why they call it. And it's not for any sort of silly reason. It is because the flowers are so fragrant, so sweet, and it is one of these shrubs again. This doesn't flower before the leaves come out, but when it is in full flower, you almost don't see the leaves because it is so soaked with blossom, pure white blossom, for a good kind of 2 or 3, 4 weeks. These can get to, they can get to be quite tall shrubs. They can get to be 2, 3, 4 metres tall, but again, you can prune them, keep them in shape, and if you ever want to prune them immediately after they're finished flowering, down to whatever height suits you. Then the new growth that comes will give you flower again the following year. But like so many of the shrubs we bought you today, these are robust, these are tough. These will get, these will go down to -15, -20, -25.
Wow.
They're drought tolerant, they're wind tolerant. They'll grow on the coast, they'll grow inland. They're really not fussed about what kind of soil. The only thing they do like is a bit of sunshine. They don't like to be really deeply shaded. But just whizzing back through the 1988, I started being self-employed. How many years is that? 37, 38 years? I'm just whizzing back through my mind now, and I can just see a dozen gardens in my mind straight away where I've seen these growing in customers' gardens. And I've done nothing to them. I just walk past them every year because they just look after themselves. But there's a certain time of year when I don't just walk straight past.
Yeah, stop and have a sniff first.
Yeah, because the fragrance stops me in my tracks.
Yeah.
And really, really sweet fragrance. A lovely upright shrub as well. Really nice upright growth on this shrub. As I say, easy, disease resistant, not really any problems with pests or diseases. So if you've got a space that you want to fill in a corner of a garden somewhere, you want a statement shrub in the middle of the lawn, go for this, because once you've planted it, you're going to love it forever. And it needs almost minimum maintenance, but just gives you so much joy, colour and fragrance every spring into early summer.
Well, do remember all of our items that have got the winter hardy symbol. You'll know that when you go on to the actual item. It's a snowflake symbol that's on the front page, the description right up at the top there. If you see that flow snake symbol, snowflake symbol that says winter hardy on it, it means it comes with a lifetime guarantee. So if this plant fails, you've planted it and in 5 years' time it dies, you can get back in touch with us and we will replace it free of charge. You just have to cover the postage cost to get it out to you, but we will honour that guarantee as long as we still provide the plant. And if we don't, I think we'd probably offer an alternative. So it's a really good thing that we do. I don't know of anywhere else that does it, but I hope that anybody who's on the fence about maybe ordering for the first time, that kind of guarantee just maybe gives you the push you need to give us a go. Because honestly, we're quite nice people here at YouGarden, and we've been doing it for about 20 years. So the business has been going for that long, and we've been delivering plants in the post for that long. So we're very well practiced at it. Right, so we're going to wrap up on there. 510393 is the item number if you want to go for the Philadelphus. One other thing that you might need to be entering into your basket is compost. Now, we do have the deal on the ericaceous compost, if that's what you are needing in your garden. But we've also got our premium professional compost as well, which is what you're going to put the majority of the other plants in. And this has been designed for pretty much, I would say, 98% of the things you're going to put in your garden. Houseplants as well have a wonderful time in here, and it's because it is an amazing formulation packed with goodness. We often call it the multivitamin pill that your plants need.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's the simplicity of this as well, because sometimes you go to a garden centre and you see 8 or 9, 10 different composts, and there's so much conflicting information on the bags, and there's all these weird ingredients and things they contain. And if you're not an established gardener, an experienced gardener, it can be a bit overwhelming. It can be a bit bewildering, because you just think, well, what one's going to work for what plant? This is just brilliant, because like Bex said, whether it's house plants, whether it's vegetables, whether you're planting a new tree, whether it's perennials, whether you're taking cuttings, whether you're sowing seeds, whether you're planting bulbs, you can use this compost. This compost is a hugely peat-reduced compost, and we started reducing peat in our compost long before lots of other companies started reducing peat. We've taken peat away, but what have we replaced it with? We've put this composted wood fibre in place as well, and that is fantastic because that keeps this compost really nice and open. It gives it a super open texture. That does lots of things, but 3 things I always like to point out is it lets the water percolate through, which is good, so this compost never becomes too wet, never becomes too sodden and boggy and sticky. It also allows the air and the oxygen to get down to the roots of the plants, which is important because
vital.
Yeah, because some people don't realise, although roots are under the ground, they still need oxygen, just like the leaves do up in the air. But also, just imagine if you're a tiny, tiny, minuscule little seed, or you're just a little micro plug plant or something like that. You don't want to be trying to get your roots down to something really claggy and heavy and difficult. This will establish your plants, your seeds, really, really easily. And once they start to grow, well, we're not leaving it just there either, because we've got slow release fertiliser in here that's going to feed your plants for up to 6 months. You'll see when you use the compost, there's there's one there. Little green beads.
Yeah.
Let's give you one there, Bex. It's which breaks down gradually and will feed your plant for up to 6 months. Some are green, some are like a little sort of a beigey colour. Also, there's a wetting agent in this compost. So this makes this compost what's called hydrophilic. It wants to suck in the moisture. It wants to absorb the moisture. And with that combination of being well drained but also having that wetting agent, you get that perfect balance. You get a compost that's never too dry, never too wet. It's pH balanced, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline, and it comes in these plain bags because, as Stu said, the value is in the bag, not on the bag. It's only coming from the supplier straight to you, so we don't need to waste money printing stuff on the bags. We can send it straight out. And the thing that you pointed out, Bex, I didn't realise before, if you want to, you can get large amounts of this delivered, can't you, as well, bulk amounts?
Get in touch with our customer services. If you do need bulk quantities of this, we can sort it out for you. You can deliver it in the pallet load. It's not an issue at all. If you want multiples of your free gift and you want excuse me, 300 litres of compost, place it in 3 separate orders, enter your code, you'll get your 3 free gifts to come with that. There's no postage to pay on here, so that's a great way of doing it, so you're not paying multiple postage costs. But maybe you just want to buy 1 or 2 plants today, but you still want to get over £40. You're always going to use the compost. It's a great way of getting your order over £40. We do have a few extra club members that have joined us this morning, and I'm not surprised because we have got those amazing improved benefits of being a club member. You lock in your club membership price as well, so the price you pay to join the club membership will be the price that you always pay as long as you keep the auto renewal going. But now we've gone from 10% saving to 15% saving. You'll still get your £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year, but we've also added in a couple of extra vouchers as well. They're what we're calling our free postage vouchers. So there's 2 vouchers of £6.99 each. So you can add those into your order to be able to get a free postage, basically, if it's £6.99. You will get that when you join the club or when your club next renews. Okay, so for people who are existing club members, when your club membership renews, you'll get those extra postage vouchers included as well. So we've made it bigger and better. We hope you love the club. We know that everybody loves it already, but now we've given you even more reason to love it. Right, let's move on, shall we? We've still got lots to show you. It's coming up to 12 o'clock, so we've still got, what have we got? Another hour and a bit for you. So lots of plants still to show you. We're going to go back to our favourites table. Is the favourites table going to stay the same on Sunday, or are you going to have told us with your pockets which ones need to be swapped out on here? Stu's saying he's not quite sure yet, so we'll wait and see. Hopefully we've picked well, we'll see. Right, we're starting off with our pink Pussy Willow, the Mount Azole. Yeah,
I mean, normally you think of Pussy Willow as being yellow. In sort of late spring, you get those lovely sort of yellow catkins. This one is pink. I mean, that really is pink as well.
It's a lovely pink
It's
too,
beautiful,
isn't it?
Beautiful soft pink, and again, it's one of these plants that's sort of putting on a big show before the leaves develop as well. So on a spring day in the garden, you're just going to see this explosion of pink catkins. Essentially, that's what they are. But they do actually have lovely little stamens that come out and will give little sprinkles of yellow amongst those pink flowers a little later on. They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? I mean, just something really beguiling and interesting and sort of fascinating about those. And you can just imagine a sort of a late winter's day, early spring day, seeing like a small tree of those.
Yeah, definitely.
smothered.
And you won't be able to walk past them either. You will have to touch them. They're like little bunny's tails, aren't they? You will want to touch it.
And then you say, they actually get smothered in pollen, and then that pollen comes out and sort of fertilises the sort of the female flowers. Then you get more trees. Yeah, that's nature. That's the way it goes. But yeah, and these are good for really wet soils. If you've got a part of the garden that's really wet, really damp. I know we're getting wetter winters now, aren't we? And some of you might be finding you're getting parts of your garden that are quite waterlogged, and some shrubs just fail because they don't like having their feet wet all the time. These don't mind being wet. In the wild, if you go and see where Pussy Willow grow, quite often they grow on the edge of riverbanks, on the edge of ponds, or in really boggy meadow areas.
Yeah.
And they'll love all that moisture.
Well, it is a buy one, get one free. So this is where you put one in your basket, enter the code. You'll get another one absolutely free. You'll also get your free gift of your Blooming Fast fertiliser included in there as well. So we're all about giving you brilliant value for money. And I think that definitely represents that. £9.99 for one, but £9.99 for two, because it is a buy one, get one free. Of course, it's £8.49 if you're in the club, because you're getting that 15% discount. 510641. Just put the code in. This week's code is YGTV0225. Very simple. All right, Chilean lantern tree is the next one. We definitely like this one. This one's on my list. I want to get this one. Going to grow this one in a pot. Needs ericaceous compost, yes?
It does, yeah. So again, if you've got rhodies and azaleas and those sort of things growing in your garden quite happy, looking really green and vibrant, you can put this straight in the ground because you've obviously got acid soil. But if you haven't, grow this in a container, but it's really worth growing. This won't mind actually being a slightly cooler, damper, sort of a dappled shade kind of position. These grow very well up in areas like Scotland and Wales and places like that. Last year we had some people send in some really fantastic pictures of really huge Pyrrhus trees.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Yeah, well these kind of grow in similar conditions to the Pyrrhus. They like that similar kind of feel. So kind of very humusy, sort of soil, damp, cool kind of conditions. But this is a dramatic plant. It's evergreen, so all the year through you've got these lovely, really glossy evergreen leaves. But then come the summertime, these wonderful, wonderful pendulous, bright red flowers that almost remind me a little bit of fuchsias. They almost look like fuchsia buds before they sort of pop open.
Before they open up, yeah.
But definitely worth trying. I've seen this growing in various people's gardens. I've seen one growing in a garden that I look after for a lady called Anne in Swaffham. And I'm going to have to transplant hers because hers is in a really, really hot, sunny position in really sandy soil.
Too much.
It hates it.
Yeah.
It's stunted. It's really not liking it. Whereas in her back garden, she's got an area there that's really quite sort of shady and moist and damp, and she's got some camellias and azaleas there, and they are thriving.
Yeah.
And that's
where it wants to go.
Yeah, so that's where it wants to go. There's that same kind of area. But if you can put it straight in your garden, ideal. If you want to grow it in a pot, honestly, it's so worth the effort because when you get this to flower, it will be one of those plants that people will ask you, what is that? And also the second thing they'll say is, I've never seen one. Yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm getting it. Mine's going to grow in a pot. I'm going to take advantage of that deal that we've got on the ericaceous compost as well, because you will need that one for it. It's 510165, the item number for the lovely Chilean lantern tree, the unusual looking plant for your garden. Next, we've got another unusual one, actually, which is the Buddleia sun gold, because traditionally we know Buddleia as being that wonderful butterfly bush, loads of it. It'll attract all the butterflies into your garden, but it's normally purple, isn't it? We do a few different weird and wonderful varieties here, and sun gold I think falls into that category.
Yeah, well these have got sort of spherical flower heads, haven't they? Sort of which are different as well. So not like the conical shaped flower heads, and these sort of grow out of the axils of the leaves as well. And these are fragrant, really, really sweetly fragranced. And then you've got this sort of bright yellow flowers at the edge and going down to that honey colour in the middle. I think these are absolutely beautiful, really, really stunning, really different. Going to be loved by the pollinating insects. And they're called butterfly bush, and these will attract the butterflies just in the same way as the normal type of Buddleia. Just going to be exactly the same. The only slight difference to this one is this one flowers on the previous year's wood. So when you get yours home, plant it. For the first 2 or 3 years, just leave it. Don't do anything with it. Let it grow, let it mature, let it build up in size a little bit. But then if it starts to get too big, what you need to do, the first year you decide to clip it back immediately after it's finished flowering. And then the new growth that comes, leave, because that will give you your flowering wood the following year. But that's all you've got to do. Other than that, this plant couldn't be more simple to grow. It's really good for droughty areas, hot, dry, sunny areas, and Buddleias grow in really poor, impoverished soils as well. You might have noticed when you get on a train and you whiz up and down the railways, quite often you see all the wild Buddleias growing either side of the train tracks. They're growing all that gravel and flint and almost dust, really. That's the sort of conditions they'll grow in. They're not at all fussed about rich soil, but they give rich rewards with all their colour and fragrance.
Not fussy in the slightest. So you can get a double up deal on these if you'd like to. If you just want one, that's fine. It's £9.99 or £8.49 in the club. But the second one that you add into your basket will just be £5 on top of there. So if you'd want to put 2 in your basket, enter the code, you'll get those additional savings. £12.74 if you're in the club for the 2 of them. So that's a really good price for those. 510031. Then we've got the Mojo Berry for you. So this is part of our Grow Your Own. We do loads of Grow Your Own here at YouGarden, and we always try and bring you something a little bit different. And this is one of the newer ones that we're bringing to you. This is the Mojo Berry, the dwarf mulberry.
It is, and I like the way Stu said, get your mojo back, and you can try and get your mojo back with this because these are packed with vitamins and minerals and natural sugars and And it's probably a fruit that most people have never tried, to be honest, because you don't
true.
really see them.
Actually, do you know what? I don't know if I've ever eaten a mulberry. You're right, saying that. I don't know if I've ever eaten one.
Yeah, because again,
so.
I used to years ago, I used to look after a garden near North Weald when I used to live in Bishop Stortford, and they had a huge mulberry tree there. And sort of mid to late summer, it was smothered in mulberries. Yeah, and they were really, really nice.
I bet.
Really, really sweet. I shouldn't tell you.
It's always sweeter picked off straight off the plant, anyway, isn't it?
But I played a really terrible prank on my other half because mulberry juice is really sort of blood red.
It's really red, isn't it?
So, and I was hedge trimming that day, so I kind of squeezed mulberry juice all down my chin and down my neck and all down my arms.
So did you cut yourself?
And I pretend I cut myself on the hedge trimmer. Yeah. John didn't see the funny side.
No, I bet he didn't.
He didn't. So, yeah, don't be an idiot with a mulberry tree. Just enjoy the fruit. And you
Quite easy to grow, though, aren't they?
Yeah, and you can with this one because it only gets about sort of 1¼ metres tall. So it's only, so tall. So it's not going to be one of those huge, great big mulberry trees. It's self-fertile.
Nice growth to it as well. We were saying about that sort of arching growth you get from it.
It's weeping habit.
Very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, makes it attractive. And also, I quite like the fact when you've got the two different coloured fruits. I mean, obviously, one's ripening and one is ripe. So it's nice to have that kind of contrast.
Yeah, it's the dark ones you want. That's when it's ripened.
Yeah, that's the ones that look like big fat blackberries. That's the one you want to eat. And it was plant of the year 2017 at the Chelsea Flower Show. So that's a pretty damn good accolade, to be honest. And finally, it flowers on old and new wood. So it will fruit on old and new wood as well.
Fabulous.
So no big headaches about pruning and all that kind of stuff.
Nice and easy. 310092. Is it time to add some Grow Your Own into your collection, or is it time to add something new into your Grow Your Own collection? Then Mojo Berry might be the way to do it. Yeah, Stu's right. He's just saying to me, loads of gardens are sort of mixing the Grow Your Own with your flowers and shrubs and things. We used to separate it, didn't we? You'd have like the front garden would be for, I don't know, the Grow Your Own, and the back garden would be with flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually what we are finding because the Grow Your Own plants are beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Blueberries are gorgeous, and this is going to be really pretty and add interest into your garden. So you don't need to separate them. Put some Grow Your Own next to your dahlia. Why not?
Look about runner bean flowers. I mean, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Gorgeous.
You can get white flowering, red, orange, and you could just grow them just for the flowers, even if you don't want to eat the runner beans.
So 500243 is the item number for the tree fern, which we're moving on to. The lovely Dixonia. It's a 9 centimetre pot. It's $4.99. $4.24 if you're in the club. This is a plant that I really want everybody to have because it does create something over time, but does create something absolutely beautiful.
You know what? Over the years, I've seen thousands of tree ferns in different garden centres, plant suppliers. I saw some years back that were about 8-9 metres tall. They had to lift them up with really heavy equipment. But what is really nice is to do what Bex has done in the pictures you can see here, and to actually start right at the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
So rather sadly and tragically cutting down a 200 or 300 year tree fern in Australia and then shipping it halfway across the world to us, why not start with a humble little tree fern like this?
Yeah.
Start that journey yourself. Start your own tree fern. Start replacing all the tree ferns that have gone missing in nature and grow your own.
It's true. Do you know what? I might get another one. I love it so much. And that's a great price. I might just start another one.
But, I mean, how beautifully dissected are the leaves on their Bex? I mean,
they're very they give you that sort of tropical vibe, very ancient, historical. I feel like I'm walking with dinosaurs when I've got my ferns going.
I mean, I've been watching over Christmas. I was watching all the Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
films,
I was watching those as well.
Yeah, I was going through those again, and I mean, you look at this. I mean, it's got that Jurassic-y Park kind of look to it. But to be able to start your own tree fern, and you know what? In the next 20, 30 years, you could start to get a little bit of a trunk on that. And it could be an heirloom plant, couldn't it? It could be, once you've parted this mortal coil, then your daughter or your son takes it over from you. They pass it on to their children, your grandchildren.
Yeah, definitely.
And it'd just be nice, wouldn't it? And then over the decades, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you've grown that tree fern from this beautiful little plant just like this.
Do just give it a little bit of protection. You want to protect the crown on this. That's where the new growth comes from. So we've got the cold weather coming. I haven't protected mine at all since I got it. Naughty me. But I have put it in a sort of very sheltered spot, and I think that's what looked after it. It's at the front of the house at the moment. It's a bit more exposed. We're going to get down to some serious cold temperatures. I will be moving it. I will be giving it a little protection as soon as I get home later on this afternoon. They need just a little bit of winter protection.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bex, this one, this size, literally bring that in and just keep it in a cool room, or like if you've got like a little porch or something, just bring it in and keep it there until the risk of frost goes. This will go down to about 0 or something like that, but because it is quite small, I wouldn't really risk going down to -2 or 3s when it's that size. Once they get more mature, they're a little bit more robust.
Mine's a little bit more mature, so it can probably cope with a little bit. You know, we've had lots of overnight frosts and it's fine, but yeah, it's going to get quite cold, so I will give it a bit of extra winter protection. I don't want to lose it after 2 years of looking after it. Right, let's move on, shall we? Because we've got more to show you. That was our favourites table. We've got lots and lots coming up. We are going to move on to one of our favourites, certainly one of Sean's favourite, definitely one of mine. Is it one of yours, the
Definitely,
verbena?
yeah. I've planted silly amounts of these.
Yeah, we love verbena because it provides a lot of interest in your garden. It grows very quickly. It's quite a vigorous growing plant, but what it doesn't do is take over.
No.
It plays well. It plays well with its friends.
Yeah, it shares. It doesn't want to overwhelm, even though it can get up to a metre and a half tall.
Oh, even taller. Mine's got taller than me.
It doesn't obliterate everything around it because it's got these lovely square upright stems that don't need support. Very seldom does it need support. Look at that! Wow, that seriously wants to.
I knew it was going to be rooty. These are brilliant. I love them.
That definitely needs to get into the ground, doesn't it? Pretty soon. But yeah, good thing about verbena is lovely upright stems, wind resistant, and when they flower and they get wet, the stems do lean over, but as soon as they dry out, they ping back up again. But because the stems are tall and because the leaves are small, you can plant other things underneath them and around them, and the verbena won't overwhelm them and obliterate them.
It's borders without barriers, is what Stu always says in my ear with these. It can create a nice sort of I say wall, but it's a see-through one. So if you want to plant something but still want to be able to see behind it, verbena is a really good one. It's used a lot in garden design because of that sort of see-through nature that it's got of it. Let's go and have a look in Sean's beautiful garden, shall we? Because this is his favourite plant of last year.
Well, this edge of my patio looks a little bit severe and harsh, I think you'll agree. But if I take you around this side, I actually planted last year verbena bonariensis, and I just love this because you still get the view, but it softens the whole border, and I just adore these like pom-poms of purple. And it's a massive one for the pollinators as well. You get so many bees just dancing around here. But verbena bonariensis, it's often known as a transparent plant, and what it does, it really highlights other plants in your beds and borders without dominating. You can always see through it. You've got these lovely kind of, I always call them like plants that look like they've done Pilates, because you've got these long, lean kind of stems and side stems, and there's these little purple pom-poms on the edge of every one. So they never block, they never dominate, they never overtake, but they complement all the other plants in the garden. Now, these are in full flower right now. Last year, I let them go to seed. I want to show you what's happened. So if you come and take a look down here, I mentioned that I let these go to seed last year. They look really attractive during the winter, but look, there are now hundreds of mini verbena bonariensis. Look, loads and loads of these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig these up and I'm going to plant them all the way around the garden. So imagine what I've got here. I can have the other side of the patio, and then I really want, that border's a bit dull over there, so I'm just going to plant dozens of verbena bonariensis, and I think it's going to look great. And all these plants were free just from the seeds from these.
So you can see what we mean there, can't you? That from his patio there, which he told us was supposed to have a wall around it. It was supposed to have like a glass balustrade thing, and there was some mess up on the ordering and something or other, or it's going to cost a fortune or something anyway, and it never happened. But just having that kind of balustrade or border or something there really does set that off. And obviously he's got amazing views where he lives because he lives out in the countryside. But you can still see that beautiful view even though you've got that lovely little sort of border going on there. Love it. It's fascinating, honestly. And I've got this just in a mixed sort of herbaceous border, and it just reliably pops up for me every single year. The bees and butterflies love it. And oh my word, I hadn't even noticed the price. I'm so sorry. It's $4.24 for club members for that massive, great big one there. And once you've got one, you pretty much don't have to come back and buy any more because they do sort of self-seed about very, very easily.
$5.99, $6.99 easily, I can see in some garden centres.
Totally. Well, certainly for that size as well, I'd say.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
But that's a great thing, as you say, Bex, they do seed about. So, you know, once you've got one plant...
You see these lovely little... And they're really quite obvious. You can tell just because they're leaf shapes. So, you know, I had one that popped up in my... I mean, the verbena's right over that side of the garden. And then in my standard rose pot over here, there was one of them popping up.
Yeah, and they always have a lovely little root on them, don't they? Yeah. And you could just transplant them, and I don't even bother potting them on. Once they get to about that tall, just dig them out, stick them somewhere else. And it's weird because I had some last year in my garden, and it wasn't till about end of May, June that I actually transplanted them. And I thought they won't flower this year. They did flower, and they didn't flower to about August or September, but they got from that to this height in about 12 weeks.
Honestly, I go out every day and there's new growth that's come on the verbena. It's amazing how fast they grow. You plant that now, it'll be as tall as me by summertime. It's incredible how quick they grow. 560925 is the item number. It's only $4.99, $4.24 if you are in the club. I'm just going to nip onto the chat quickly. Elaine's got a few things. First of all, Adam, you don't look that old.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
We're not saying the numbers. 60. Elaine says, I've ordered the angel wings, the tree fern and the heather in a pot. The heather and a pot, rather. The tree fern is going in a pot under my living room window. The angel wing is going in a black pot.
Oh, I like your style there.
Up my back.
That's going to be
in the back
nice.
garden, I'm assuming. And the heather is going in the front garden and the back garden. Very good. And Elaine, what are you talking about that said you had last year but didn't flower? Was it the buddleia? Hopefully you'll get flowers this year if it was the buddleia. Let us know. We've also got some emails as well. Join in the chat, everybody, by the way. We've got YouTube here, so I can obviously see all of those and I can read out your messages. I can answer any questions. Stu's got Facebook open. He's in his little shed just outside here. So if you're on Facebook, he will keep an eye on there to see if you've got any comments. We've also got the emails as well. So if you want to send us any pictures or any questions or comments on there, you can do. It's YouGarden. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. And Grimmy, love you, he has sent us a picture of his Chilean lantern. So we were showing you this one a few minutes ago. I want to get the Chilean lantern in my garden, and there is Grimmy's Chilean lantern growing. Look at those beautiful, unusual flowers growing there.
And they really aren't very common, these shrubs, either. I mean, you don't see these very often. So, and it's sad, really, because they are... I know they do need the acid soil, but other than that, they are really, really tough, robust shrubs. And when you see them in garden centres in 2 or 3 litre pots, they are stupid expensive. They are loads of money. Really loads of money.
I'm assuming that's in the ground, Grimmy. It's not in a pot there. If you've got it planted in the ground, you have ericaceous soil in your garden already. Just interested to know.
Again, talking off the top of my head, get slapped down perhaps, but I'll say it anyway. What we could think about in the future is you can get liquid feeds for acid-loving plants.
Yes.
Do we have that? Do we have anything on our website?
Because, I don't know, actually.
Even if your soil isn't quite right, sometimes if you just regularly water with that, you can get them to survive.
Okay,
so
that's interesting.
Yeah, I do that in my garden. It's called like ericaceous liquid feed.
Yeah, and with ericaceous plants, it's always best if you can water with rainwater rather than tap water.
Definitely,
isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're in a hard water area.
Yeah, I'm in a very hard water area.
Norfolk's one of the worst in the country. It's shocking.
It's a problem for me because I still haven't got. I'll do it. I still haven't got a water butt attached, so I do have to do a lot of watering with the hose pipe and stuff, and with my blueberries and things like that. I feel like I'm causing issues, basically.
Our water's so hard, we have to slice it.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, let's move on, shall we? Because Adam keeps stroking his pencil cypress tree here. And it's, the scent you get off it is actually beautiful, isn't it? It is a conifer, but it is not to be confused with the kind of vigorous leylandii and stuff like that at all. This one is called the pencil conifer, isn't it? Because it stays in this lovely pencil shape.
Yeah.
I got 3 of these. I got one that's in a border somewhere, and I've got a couple that I've got in pots outside the front of the house. And I really like them because they stay this lovely shape.
They do.
But also you can sort of underplant and get lovely kind of, you know, pansies growing around or different things at different times of the year, and they're really low maintenance.
They are low maintenance, and if you've been lucky enough to travel to Italy and Tuscany and areas like that,
nice.
They're like
that
quintessential kind. Well, yeah, I've been to Tuscany 2 or 3 times. I've been lucky, but you see the most magnificent specimens of those there. But my other half's mum and dad, Jenny and Joe, lived down in Kent, and they planted a pencil cypress the same height as the one I've got in front of me here, about 5 or 6 years ago. And now it's about 20 foot tall. Really? Yeah, and I need to take a picture. And,
you do.
And it's bolt upright, and even though it's really, really tall, it's no wider than about this. So it's literally kept that brilliant sort of pencil shape.
Love that.
And it's got the sempervirens thing, which means always green or always alive. So, you know, it looks green all the year through. And eventually they have these really gorgeous little cones about the size of... about kind of horse chestnut size, perhaps slightly smaller, lovely little cones, which again are another kind of nice...
I think we had quite a bit of interest, and you can leave them on because it does add something to look at. If you like the sort of pencil, thin shape, it can ruin that shape slightly because you get little bulbous bits coming out, so you can prune them off if you want to, but I quite like them. They add a bit of interest.
And sometimes in Italy, in places like when they get really, really big, and you don't have to worry about this in the UK, but sometimes they wire them as well, because in some areas where they get really heavy snow, sometimes they can sort of fall out a bit, but they kind of wire them to always make sure they stay.
Yes,
because you've got this perfect tree, and if one branch one day suddenly drops out a bit, but say you don't need to worry about that in the UK. But yes, as you said, Bex, these are elegant. Look brilliant either side of a front door, back door, top of some steps. I
got loads of these, so I've got loads of things I change over in the front of the house. I need to move the holly bushes because they need to go back around the back of the house now. But yeah, I've got pairs of these, I've got pairs of hollies, I've got pairs of the Phoenix canariensis, and I just change over that display either side of my front door depending on how I'm feeling, because I quite like that pairing.
I'm just talking about pairings, I'm just going to grab this because, again, the angel wings that we talked about
that'd be
earlier
nice,
on,
wouldn't it?
You know, if you put this, you know, in a pot, and you know you sort of take 3 of the angel sort of wings around the base of it, you can see there that kind of really nice sort of contrast between this sort of silvery grey and this really, really lovely sort of dark green.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, yeah, that's another option for you there as well.
We can go for one if you want to. That's absolutely fine. It's $19.99. It's in a really, it's really well established. We do smaller ones at various times of the year, but this one's nicely established already. It's $16.99 in the club. If you want to get multiples of them to create, you know, either side or you know, those lovely avenues that you see, you can do that. Adam's desperately trying to get that out of the pot so you can see how rooty it is. There it is.
That was a struggle.
Nice and rooty though, very well established.
Yeah, beautiful root system there.
500063 is the item number. Just going back to the chat, because Grimmy, thank you. He said, yeah, it's in the ground. The azalea grew, so took a chance. I just use ericaceous food.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Neil says he's still waiting for the snow and the ice to disappear here before he can do anything in the garden. And Grimmy's sort of saying the same thing. It's not going to be long. We're going to get some frosty days and then we can get back out there.
It's been quite sporadic, the snow, isn't it? Because
I quite like it. Do you know what? We have such a, obviously depending on where you are in the country, we don't get a huge amount of frost and snow and stuff down here, but it's quite nice, isn't it, looking out there on the frosty days sometimes.
Yeah, they showed the lady from Yorkshire this morning. She was in the street. The snow was like that deep. It was like insane.
I love it. I like it, but I don't have to deal with it. So, right, whatever you're buying, if you head onto the website, that's where you'll be able to find everything. If you click on the Live Now button, that YouGarden TV bit, if you're on a phone or a tablet, it tends to be at the bottom of the screen. Then you can scroll down. There's me and Adam looking all bright and smiley. But these are the items that we have selected for the show. There's your free gift at the top there. We've got the deal on the ericaceous compost, those angel wings right there. That's the cypress trees we just showed you. We've got that lovely Chilean lantern, the Budleia sun gold. all sorts, lots of things that we haven't actually shown you as well. So lots and lots to see. You can shop the entire website if you want to. You don't have to just buy from the show items that we've selected. We will be coming back on Sunday. We're probably going to have items that we didn't manage to get to show you today. So if you come back on Sunday, we'll be able to show you some of those ones. It'll be me and Sean on Sunday. You can watch me this afternoon on TikTok if you fancy. I will be doing a live on TikTok between 2 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. Sean's going to be on QVC. I'm not sure exactly of the times, but I know he's there. He's there tomorrow. And Friday and Saturday, isn't he? I'm sure he's there on Friday and Saturday. That's why he's not here today, you see, because he's doing loads of days in a row. So he's there on Friday and Saturday. Stu's just having a little look to see if we can find the times. Then we can let you know so you can tune in and watch him on QVC. And then, we'll both be back on Sunday morning and the afternoon on TikTok. So 5 p.m. tomorrow on QVC Style. That's on, channel... I can't remember what number it is. That's really bad of me. It's QVC Style Show, so it's the not the main channel, it's the other one. You can get it on Freeview on QVC2. And then on Saturday, he's doing 11 a.m. on the main channel. Yeah, it will be. So 11 a.m. on QVC main channel if you want to tune in for either of those shows. I'm sure he'd appreciate your company. Right, what we're doing next, we're going to do a little review. Yeah. Shall we remind you of some of the popular items in the show? Let's start off then, shall we? Philadelphus. The mock orange. Yes, the virginal, the beautiful pure white flowers, the amazing scent that you get from Philadelphus as well. These are the reasons that you're going to go for Philadelphus in your garden. Plus the fact that we do have a fantastic saving as well. We have taken a third off the price here. It is $9.99. It's $8.49 if you're in the club. Remember, you're getting 15% discount now. It used to be 10. We've upped it. It's bigger and better. Getting 15% discount off all the plants, pots, compost, and pretty much everything that we bring you in the potting shed. But you can also get savings on items from the website as well, as long as you put them into your basket. Of course, if you get to over £40, you will get the free postage over 40, and you'll get your free gift as long as you use our offer code YGTV0225. The virginal comes in a 2-litre pot, and as I said, you are saving a third. It's 510393. Next, we've got our Heather collection. Now, this one is the deal of the week. Elaine, I know you've gone for this one. Thank you so much for your order. Deal of the week means an amazing plant at an amazing price. That's pretty much it. And that's what you're getting with this. It's not just one, though. You're getting three 9-centimetre pots, £7.97, £6.77 if you're in the club, and it is a £12 saving. So really, really good saving on that one. Low maintenance, fuss-free gardening. They do tend to like a bit of ericaceous, so do bear that one in mind. Chilean Lantern is the next one I'm going to be adding into my basket. It's going to be my second purchase of 2025. Thank you, Grimmy, for sending your picture in of yours in your garden. It's available for you in a 9-centimetre pot. It's evergreen. It produces the most beautiful flowers, really unusual, really gorgeous. And it does need ericaceous compost. So again, remember, we've got that deal on the ericaceous compost at the moment, so do consider adding that into your basket. 510165. Silly price on an amazingly established verbena. It is in that 17-centimetre pot, so really nicely established. There's Sean's garden. I've got them in mine. Adam's got them in his. It's definitely a plant for all gardens. Nice sort of open shape and habit you get. I always call it tall and willowy, which is what I want to be. If I were a plant, I would want to be a verbena. 560925 is the item number, and it's just £4.24. I would consider multi-ordering, actually. They are really vigorous and they will self-seed, but a couple of those, 2-3 of those in your garden, that would be beautiful. 560925 is the item number if you want to go for the Verbena bonariensis in the 17-centimetre pot with the £8 saving. Ceanothus rather. This is your plant for May. If you want the most beautiful display in your garden for the month of May, this is a great one to have. But it's also evergreen, so you will have foliage to look at all year round. But those flowers appear, sort of end of April and into May time, and they last for a good few weeks. You know, you get probably a good 4 to 6 weeks out of those Ceanothus flowers, and they will continue to give you little flushes of flowers as well. Tend to give you a little second crescendo in autumn time. Can't guarantee it, but often that's the case. Bees and butterflies love them. them, super easy. And this is the Thriciflorus repens variety. So if you plant it in a sunny spot, it tends to stay a bit more compact, only getting to a metre, metre and a half in height, but it'll spread outwards by probably 3 or 4 metres. If you put it in a shady spot, it'll try and reach for the sun and it'll grow a bit taller. 510886 is the item number. Next, we've got our French lilac, the Syringa vulgaris. This is the Madame Lemoyne. It's the pure white one, really pretty. Lilac, obviously, we often think of the lilac-coloured flowers, but this one you can have white lilac flowers that still have all the beautiful scent that you would expect to get from lilac, but with that classy white colour. Will get big, it's the vulgaris, so if you want it to, it can obviously grow into a sort of tree size and shape. You can trim back, though, to be honest. I think you can control the size of your lilac. If you want to, if you don't want it to get too big. We've got a £5 saving on there at £14.99 or £12.74 in the club. Forsythia Mini Gold. This was my pick of the show. I love Forsythia anyway. I love it because it's quite a brave plant. You get those lovely bright yellow flowers that appear on the bare stems, but at one of the worst times of the year. February is probably the coldest, most miserable month, isn't it, as far as, you know, colour and foliage displays and things. I know we've just got spring around the corner, but oh, it feels like a long wait. But this is why Forsythia is an amazing thing in your garden at that time of year, because it's the plant for February. It's the one that'll bring you joy and happiness. It'll make you think of sunnier, warmer days because of those bright yellow flowers. But this one's the mini gold. Now, Forsythia can get metres, 3-4 metres in height. This one stays nice and compact. So it's great for smaller gardens. It's absolutely fantastic for planting into a pot. That is the next one in my basket. So yeah, Chilean lantern, Forsythia. Those are my orders today. Rhododendron. Yeah, if you haven't got a rhodie in your garden, now's the time to get a hold of this one. Evergreen. But by buying it now and getting it in your garden, it means that you will get the most joy out of it, because in April, yeah, about April time, isn't it, rhodies start? That's when you're going to get some of the most beautiful showy flowers on here. Does need ericaceous compost, so grab yourself that bag while we've got it on offer. Keep it in a pot, or if you've got ericaceous soil, you can plant this straight out into your borders. Beautiful flowers, absolutely gorgeous variety, and it's a half-price deal at £9.99 or £8.49 if you're a club member. Now then, we do have exciting news for everybody today. I know a lot of people have, you already know about this, but we have made our club bigger and better. You are getting even more benefits by being a club member. If you've already joined, you've locked in that price. If you haven't joined, here's why you should.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you will also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
So there you go. This is why you need to be a club member if you're not already, because you are getting even more benefits. Used to be 10% discount, now 15% discount. You still get your £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers, but also what we're adding in to new club memberships is that you will get 2 vouchers in order to put towards your postage. So they're both worth $6.99, so you might get free postage. If you're already a club member, when your membership renews, that's when you'll get your extra discounts, your extra postage vouchers. But we loved the club membership before, we love it even more now. Thank you very much. It means even more money off. Stu was just saying, actually, when we went to that clip of VT, he was like, honestly, shop on YGTV specifically and join our club, and that's the best way to save money on your gardening items, isn't it? And he's right, genuinely.
Well, that 15%, I mean, obviously I do get stuff from YouGarden, but over the years, I go to commercial suppliers sometimes, and the maximum I ever get with them is normally 10%.
There you go.
So,
no, it's 15.
15, that's pretty cool, to be
Thank you
honest.
very much.
Plus
I
all the
love
other bits and pieces as well. It's amazing.
So let us know what you think of the club. Let us know, are you taking advantage? Are you placing some orders? Oh, apparently Alison's just sent us an email. What's she saying? Just had a delivery, but I'm not home. Oh, no. You're hoping it's what? The Hypericum, I think it'd be Hypericum, Peony Coral Sunset, Geranium and Potentilla Festival Mix, and Patty's Plum. I like this, it's like I can't wait to get home now.
I've got 5 deliveries coming today from YouGarden.
You have?
I have, yeah.
What have you been buying?
I've got a pink pot coming, one of the pink pot,
Right.
pink pot, the fig.
Nice, brown turkey.
Fig. The epiprenum on the moss pole.
Right.
I've forgotten the other ones. But yeah, it pinged on my phone earlier. They're all being delivered today.
We've all got deliveries.
I've got lots of boxes to open when I get home.
And my pot to open when I get home as well, so I'm quite excited.
Good enough.
Right, let's move on. Let's talk to you because we've got a bunch of new stuff out. So let's show you all the new things we've got. We're here for another half an hour. This one is the Colquitzia. We call it Pink Cloud.
We do, and for good reason, because when it flowers, it is a pink cloud of flower. And Stu's saying earlier, we haven't got a lot of time for things. I don't need a lot of time for this one because this is so straightforward.
Yeah,
this is
easy.
a shrub you can plant and leave.
Simple.
It will fill quite a big space. So if you've got a big space you want to fill with a shrub that's bone hardy, doesn't need pruning, doesn't get problems with disease and all that kind of stuff, just basically a shrub that you can plant and leave and let it grow, go for Colquitzia. It really is a fantastic shrub that will last year after year after year after year, and for a good 4 to 6 weeks just be smothered in these most beautiful pink flowers, which are just absolutely stunning. And then you've got obviously the foliage thereafter. Bone hardy, drought tolerant, will grow in full sun, partial sun, not really fussed about soil. Plant it, leave it, enjoy it. Simple as.
There you go. It's a buy one get one free as well. $19.99, $16.99 in the club. Put one in your basket, enter the code, you'll get the second one absolutely free, gratis, nothing to pay. Amazing. 511485 is the item number if you want to go for the Colquitzia. Next we've got the hydrangea, and this is the Incredible, and it is incredible. Honestly, the massive balls of flowers that you get from this, you will be gobsmacked, honestly.
And this is kind of like a step up from the Annabelle, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the Annabelle had huge flowers, but the weight of the flowers sometimes couldn't be supported by the stems.
Yes.
This one has got really strong stems, so it's been down the gym, Stu said. It's signed up for a New Year's gym membership, but it's got really super strong stems. That means these flowers are going to stay upright. So, whether it's windy, whether it's wet, whatever, these flowers are going to stay in position, and this is going to look good for weeks after week after week after week. And another good thing about this type of hydrangea, this is one of the paniculata type of hydrangeas, which basically means really easy to prune. So in the spring, cut it down to whatever height you want it to be, and it will flower on that new wood.
Brilliant.
Simple as.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
510009 is the item number. We've taken £7 off. It's $22.99. We know how well hydrangeas have been doing in our UK climate. we're all thinking about how we're going to change our gardening habits, and certainly we've been talking a lot about how we're going to plant a lot more hydrangeas because we know how amazing they are. 510009 is the item number. We've got some more hydrangeas for you though as well. Right to the end, we've actually got a little collection of hydrangeas here where you are actually going to get 3 of them. Not as established as that one, but you will get 3 beautiful colours in here. And the great thing with hydrangea is you don't have to wait too long to get some decent results, do you?
No, these are quick-growing hydrangeas, and also they don't mind damp or wet soil as well. And again, with all the rain we're getting and stuff, and the wet summers, things that traditionally perhaps have done well in your garden might be struggling a bit now because your soil's laying a bit more wet than normal. Hydrangeas love that. But you've got 3 hydrangea varieties in here as well. You've got a Diamant Rouge, you've got Sunday... Now, do you say fraise or fraise?
Fraise, I normally say.
Sunday fraise.
I mean, you're supposed to say it with a bit of a French accent, aren't you? Fraise.
Fraise, like Sunday fraise.
It's Sue's saying it's French for strawberry.
Yeah.
It is, it's true.
And you've got a Silver Dollar as well. So 3 different varieties, and all of them have these flowers that are slightly chameleon-like because they change colour as the flower matures, which is nice as well. So,
yeah.
The flowers are going to come out one colour, and as they age, some are going to become more pink. Some might start sort of lime green, then go to white, then go to a pink, depending on which variety it is. But all of them are going to give you these fantastic conical heads of flower reliably.
They're so dense, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I really like about them. They're used a lot in actually like wedding flowers and things.
Yeah, and dried as well. You can dry these. You
Yeah.
can actually, if you want to, just as the flower's starting to come out and just as it starts to open, if you cut stems of these, hang them upside down somewhere dry and cool and leave them for a good sort of month or so, then you can put them in dried flower arrangements and they look fantastic. Or you can cut them fresh and put them in fresh flower arrangements.
Yeah, lovely for cut flowers.
Really dramatic in the garden, easy to grow, and like the Annabelle that we mentioned earlier, or the Incredible, easy to prune. So you can leave them to grow taller and taller year on year if you want to.
Yeah.
But if you go out, say you've had one in your garden already for 3 or 4 years, and you go out this spring, you think, well, it's getting a bit tall now. Well, about middle of March time, cut it down to the height you want it to be, and it will reshoot, but it will flower on those new shoots. So you're not going to lose any flower pruning it this year. So, if you want 3 beautiful, beautiful paniculata types of hydrangeas to give you months and months of colour reliably year after year after year, and these are massively frost resistant, tough as old boots.
Winter hardy guarantee, lifetime guarantee on these ones.
And tell you what they do look fabulous as. If you want to get 2 or 3 lots of these, you could grow a hedge. Beautiful kind of open kind of hedge.
I'm totally
hedge.
doing it. Depending on the next garden, I'm definitely going to do a full border of hydrangea. And I'm not going to do the same variety. I'm going to mix in loads of different varieties, but I'm going to do a full border of hydrangea.
That could look amazing.
It's going to look so good.
It will, yeah.
510-358 is the item number if you want to go for the hydrangea paniculata collection. 3 of those for you for $16.97, $14.42 in the club. All 3 of those are ready to find their new home in your garden. We've got another trio for you next. Oh yeah, Rooty.
Great root system.
Rooty.
Yeah, lovely root system on there. Yeah.
We've got another trio for you next as well with the Pyrrhus collection. And do you know what? Pyrrhus was a kind of new one to me last year. I've seen them about, but never really paid that much attention. But actually really started to pay attention to Pyrrhus because they are... I mean, they're beautiful. The foliage, the different colours you get, the peach tones, pinks, greens, yellows, limes, loads of different colours. But the flowers are so pretty.
And they're evergreen.
Yeah.
So, they're one of these plants that's got it all. So in the spring, you'll get these lovely, again, a bit like the blueberry flowers, these lovely clusters of lantern white flowers.
They're much more obvious than I really realised previously. I thought they were going to be a little bit, just sort of melt away and not really notice them, but they're so noticeable.
They're really big clusters of little lantern-shaped flowers. So really dramatic. We can see there, the picture there, the little white flowers. So they're absolutely stunning in the spring. And then it's another one of these plants where the new foliage comes out a different colour. And
it is that bright as well. That was shown you in that picture. Yeah. It is that bright in colour.
I mean, we've got 3 varieties here. We've got the Forest Flame, we've got Flaming Silver, which has got the lovely sort of white edging to the leaves, margin on the edge of the leaves, and we've got Mountain Fire as well. That one's got an award of garden merit from the RHS. So, and there's the flowers there. I mean, really, really beautiful, beautiful flowers in the spring. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody sent us a picture of
somebody up in Scotland,
yeah,
wasn't it?
and it was about 2 metres tall. I mean, it was almost grown into a small tree.
Yeah.
But you get the flowers, you've always got this evergreen foliage. The new foliage comes through these fabulous, fabulous colours, sometimes deep red, sometimes bright pink, sometimes an orangey colour. Then as that foliage matures, it then turns to the green that you see underneath. Evergreen as well. So these are plants at any time of the year are looking fantastic. They do like the acid soil again as well. So grow them in pots like these ones here if you haven't got the acid soil. If you've got things growing in your garden like rhododendrons, azaleas, and they're thriving, looking healthy, you can plant these straight out in the garden with everything else.
Look at that picture.
But they make look at that.
That's the picture. That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, look at it. I mean, that is dramatic. And they're called forest flame because they're the kind of shrubs, you know, when you drive along and you get to the or walk and you get to the edge of a forest where it's a bit, you know, it's not full sun, but it's not full shade. It's kind of that dappled halfway house kind of place, and it's got lots of organic material.
Yep.
That's the kind of place they like. So think of the places that acers do very well, for example.
Oh, and these look nice with acers.
These look brilliant with acers.
Yeah.
So if you've got somewhere that's a bit semi-shaded, somewhere the soil always stays a little bit damp, and you wanted something really interesting and evergreen to thrive, go for these. I mean, you might already have some acers, and you might be thinking, I love my acers in the summer when they've got all the leaves on, but in the winter I've just got bare twigs. Plant some of these underneath or in between your acers, because then you can continue that interest all the year through. When they both are in leaf in the spring and summer, whoa, that's going to look something special.
511 126 is the item number if you'd like to go for the Pieris collection. It's $14.97 or $12.72 in the club for all three of those beauties there, and they really are very, very beautiful. You can see the difference between the foliage types that you're getting from the three that we've got here in our potting shed. Next up for you, we've got the Cornus Midwinter Fire. This is the dogwood, you might know it as that, and this is truly about, I mean, this is one of my ones that I always talk about being a multi-season feature plant, and it really is beautiful no matter the season, but really it's now, isn't it? It's winter, that's when it looks the best.
Actually looking in my phone because...
You've got a picture.
Yeah, I went to a place this week for John's birthday. It's called, I can't remember the flipping name, it's something Abbey. I always forget that, near Cambridge.
Oh yeah, you went there, you did a video from there the other day.
I'll keep looking while I'm talking. And where is it? Oh, they had... Oh no, I haven't got it in the background. That's annoying. No.
They've got a dogwood there, are they?
Yeah, they've got a winter garden there.
Right.
And they've got a massive patch of these cornus, about a couple of metres tall.
Yeah.
And you walk around the corner and it's literally like they're on fire. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, it was a really grey day when we went, and just the stems were really, really bright red and bright orange.
That's exactly why we're going for this plant, though, isn't it?
Look,
because even on these small plants, we can see those lovely kind of, I mean, they're a bit peachy coloured at the moment, but as these grow and mature, you see those lovely peachy tones you're getting? As these grow and mature and get bigger, they are going to be flame red, aren't they?
They are.
And
really...
they're so hardy, so vigorous, so easy. These can get several metres height, several metres spread. But if they get too big, you can just chop them right back. You can hack at them and they'll be fine.
Actually doing that is the best thing, because what they tend to do, what is it called? It's called something Abbey. It's a national...
Newstead Abbey?
National Trust place, just outside of Cambridge.
No idea.
My other half is screaming, Anglesey Abbey.
Thanks,
Stu.
There you go, Stu. Well
that's
done.
good, yeah. Anglesey Abbey, they've got this winter garden, and what they do with theirs is late winter to mid-spring, they cut them back really harshly, because the new stems are the ones that the most bright. They're the ones that look the most fantastic in the winter. But I tell you, on a winter's day, when you get these and they're all branched and you get the sun on the stems, whoa, the effect is absolutely incredible. And they even had daffodils. They had a really early variety of daffodil that was in full flower there. And they had witch hazel. Oh, and they had the viburnum, Bodnatense dawn. Loads of those in flower.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you can really create some incredible drama with these winter shrubs.
Yeah, I love it. Cornus Midwinter Fire, you're going to get 3 of the 9-centimetre pots. It is, how much is it? £17 saving. It's £11 and 2 pence if you're in the club. Amanda's just joined in. Bless her, she's missed it all. She's asked the question, anything about this club thing? Yes, Amanda, we've been talking about it. The club thing is amazing. So the club costs £10 to join right now as a new member, and that is for your, what's it called? Stop saying words in my ears, Steve. Auto renewal, thank you. No, keep saying words. He's going to get mad at me now. He's not going to say anything else. Right, it costs you £10 to join on auto renewal, and you're locked in at that price. So if we decide to put the price up again in the future at any point, you will only ever pay the £10 membership renewal fee, or whatever you paid to join. That's the important thing. Whatever you paid to join, you've secured that price. But now what you're getting, Amanda, from that club membership is not just 10% club discount, which is what it used to be. It's now 15% club discount off everything you buy in the potting shed, plants, pots, compost, all the rest of it. So big improvement on previous. You're still going to get your £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year, but we are also adding in a couple of extra vouchers. These are your postage vouchers. 2 of them worth £6.99. So 2 times in the year. Hopefully you'll be able to put those towards your order to be able to get free postage if you're paying £6.99. So it's bigger and better. We're very, very happy. We're glad we're club members. So remember, your price is locked in from when you join the club. That's the only price you'll ever pay, as long as you keep your renewal going, your auto renewal. 15% discount rather than 10% discount off everything you buy, and extra club vouchers included in there as well. So that's why we kept talking to you about making sure you join the club, be in the club. Now's the time, because we've got big plans for 2025. We're very excited to be here. Thank you very much for your company. Let's carry on, shall we?
So I'm just thinking quickly about that. So if you, for instance, only want a few things, but it doesn't quite get you over the free postage barrier, just use one of those.
Then you can use one of those.
We'll use one of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. That's fantastic, isn't it?
We'll still have the same thing. You can only use one code and things at a time, but it's still money that can be in your pocket. You just need to use that whenever it's relevant for you, wherever you're going to get the most savings.
Cool.
Let's move on. We've got a couple more items to show you on this table. We've got about 15 minutes left on this show. If you want to come back and join me this afternoon, I'll be on TikTok from 2 until 4 o'clock. If you're not on TikTok and you're not bothered about that, don't worry about it. We'll be back on Sunday morning from 9:30, so you can come back and join us then. I know that Elaine put this into a basket. Is anyone else ordering this today? I'd love to hear from you. It's the, I always say Senecio, you say Senecchio. Love the fact that we do things differently. But this is the angel wings, and it is this lovely, light coloured foliage, going to create gorgeous contrast in your garden, but also really tactile. It is so soft.
It's soft, isn't it? It literally
is. It's like you said earlier, it's like a cat's ear.
Yeah,
it's like the inside of a little cat's ear.
It's got that nice feel to it. And
so soft.
I mean, it's a great plant as well to plant on its own or to contrast with. I mean, earlier on we had the phormium, the black phormium next to it. You can perhaps imagine that in a container in the spring, and then in the summer you might have some bright red geraniums around that, and then some really deep blue lobelia trailing down. So 3 really contrasting colours there. And sometimes the leaves can get bigger than that as well. In some of my customers' gardens, the leaves are almost sort of 2 or 3 times the size of this. Once this plant sort of matures, it will flower for you as well. It sends up little clusters of yellow daisy-like flowers, because it's a member of the Senecchio family, and they all have these little yellow sort of daisy-like flowers, so it can flower. It's evergreen, so it looks good. I mean, where are we now? We're on 9th of January. Still looking fantastic even today. And we've not given this any particular attention. This was probably sitting outside in one of the beds this morning. In the nursery, it's gone through the recent frosts and stuff. Obviously, we brought it in for you to show you. But yeah, it's different, it's unusual. It's got that sort of glossy, silvery, kind of almost sort of ghostly kind of look to it. And I think it's, I was going to say kind of a niche plant, but I mean niche in the sense of that sometimes you can find a certain plant that so you can just sort of contrast things with and do different things with, rather than just a general kind of plant that perhaps you put anywhere. If, it's a plant you can do special things with. Rather than just say a petunia or something, you might just plant that. Yeah, you might just plant it.
This is more about designing your garden.
It's got that kind of design feel to it. If you want to, it's up to you. Yeah,
totally. It's 450169, the item number. We've taken a big saving off that. Yeah. £8.49 if you want to go for that in the club. Get multiples of those if you want to as well. One of them would look amazing in a pot, or multiples in your borders and things would look fantastic too. Finally on this table we've got our Ceanothus, the the Thriciflorus repens, which is the one that if you plant it in sun is lower growing, so it'll grow to about a metre, metre and a half, but it'll spread. It'll go by 3-4 metres. So great for actually low kind of lower hedging if you want to. That's if it's in full sun. If you plant it in a more shady position, it will grow taller.
It tends to go more upright. These originate from California, so they're used to really, really full-on sunshine. They'll grow in super poor soil as well, which is good, because that means that they'll grow in sandy soils, gravelly soils. Where they grow in California, for example, they grow on sort of really sort of scree slopes and places like that where the soil is really awful. But just to summarise on this one, evergreen, so it looks fantastic all the year through. Again, 9th of January today. The plant in the studio is just super glossy, really vibrant. You can already see the buds developing for the flowers, which will come out in May, and then it's smothered in hundreds of these sky blue flowers for a good number of weeks. They fade, but also it pops out a little bit of flower every so often throughout the rest of the summer. Hardy through pretty much all the winters. You can leave it to do whatever it wants to do, or you can trim it back after it's flowered. It's up to you. But a beautiful, beautiful shrub, and a very unusual blue. You don't see that blue a lot in gardens in the UK.
510886 is the item number, $9.99, really well established as well, so that's a really great price for the size of the pot that you are getting. We're just going to quickly move back to the pheasant berry. We've had a few orders coming in for this one, so let us know if you have gone for this one today. It is beautiful, isn't it? Quite a different looking flower that you get on this one.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've seen hundreds of these grown in different gardens over the years. It's a really tough shrub, really, really drought tolerant as well. You know, sometimes at the front of your house you might have a little narrow border between the path and the wall of your house, and you've got a little bed and it's as dry as dust. They grow well in them sort of places. They actually seed about. You actually find little seedlings of these because the birds eat the seeds, the berries, drop the berries and they grow. They have lovely upright canes, stems, almost resemble bamboo kind of canes because they've got those sort of notches on the stems. And then you get these fabulous flowers. I mean, these flowers are extraordinary, really different and unusual, which last for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then you get these dark black berries that sort of represent or look like some people think like a pheasant's eye, hence the name sort of pheasant berry, or pheasant eye is another common name for it. Come back year after year after year. You can prune it down sort of late winter, mid spring, then it shoots up and it will flower for you on those brand new stems. And yeah, and just look fantastic.
It does look fantastic.
It's one of my favourite shrubs, and I think this one, I'm pretty right in saying, I think this one perhaps has more of the golden coloured foliage as well, rather than the green. So
I think you're right.
Even more attributes on this one.
511523 is the item number. It's a nearly half price deal. We've taken £12 off the price of that one. It's £11.04 if you are in the club. Remember, we're getting an extra discount with the club. Used to be 10%, but now it's 15% of all the plants, pots, composts, everything that you're buying from us here in the potting shed. You can also get those discounts from shopping the rest of the website as well. Do remember to use your code, though, the YGTV0225, no matter where you're shopping via the website, whether that's YGTV or the rest of the website, because that's how you get your free gift included into your basket. Every single order will include the Blooming Fast Superior Fertiliser as long as you enter the code. It's not one per order, it's not one per customer, it's one per order. So if you place multiple orders and use that code, you will get that. And of course, if you spend over £40 and you use that code, YGTV0225 is this week's code, you will also get free postage on your order as well. So do think about playing around with your basket to get the best value for money. Sometimes it's about placing things in separate orders so you get multiple free gifts. Other times it's about getting your order to over £40 to get that $6.99. You do what works for you. We are here simply to tell you what we've got available and how to get the most out of it. Do think about adding that Dixonia in. It's only $4.99. If that tips you over the £40, much better to get a plant than it is to pay the $6.99 postage. Right, we're going to move on to the Abelia. It's called the Grandiflora, the kaleidoscope of foliage colour that you'll get.
And you can see that. And the great thing about this one is we were just talking about the Ceanothus, which flowers in May. But this will flower end of August into September.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about abelias. They're late summer flowering shrubs, and there's not a lot of those you can think of normally. So they're going to give you that pop of colour late summer into early autumn, masses and masses of sort of pinky white bell-shaped flowers. But even when it's not flowering, it still looks fantastic. I mean, if I just tilt this one forward a little bit, look at the beautiful colour there. I mean,
I like them.
9th of January. I mean, this has been outside. This is, oh, dropped it down there. This has been sitting outside. It's had the frost, the wind, the rain, but it still looks fantastic. It's not been mollycoddled or anything.
No.
But even now, at this time of year, still got those wonderful, wonderful colours on there. You can see why they called it kaleidoscope, because of the mixture of colour. So even without these beautiful, beautiful flowers, you've still got that evergreen interest. And then, of course, later in the summer, it will be smothered in those beautiful flowers as well. It doesn't get much taller than this, to be honest, either. It's only about sort of a couple of feet tall.
Yeah.
Then it will kind of spread out a little bit, so it's a bit sort of ground covery, suppress the weeds around it. Plant it practically anywhere. It does like a sunny position, but not a particularly fussy shrub. Bone hardy, comes back year after year after year, great in pots.
Look at the colours on that foliage as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
That is
isn't it?
incredible.
Really beautiful. Yeah, just again, we don't bring you prima donnas on this show.
We don't want prima donnas anywhere near the potting shed, thank you very much. 511508 is the item number for the Abelia Kaleidoscope, with a £5 saving, so £8.49 if you are in the club. Now, we do have a few items on today's show that do require ericaceous compost. They like the acid soil, the Pyrrhus, the blueberry, we've got rhododendron, there's the
crinodendron,
the lantern, Chilean lantern. So there's a few that need that ericaceous compost, and our lovely Ryan in the office, good morning to you if you're watching, Ryan, happy new year. He has done a little deal for us on that ericaceous compost, taking a couple of quid off the price, and of course with your extra club discount you've got a 15% discount as well, so it's coming in at £15.29 for that 60 litre bag. 100042 is the item number for that. No postage on that, so that might be something that you place as a separate order to get your extra free gift of your Blooming Fast, or it might be the one that if you're just buying a couple of things today, gets you over the £40 to save you the £6.99 postage, and then of course all of it is free postage. Just as we always say, do what is best for you, do what works the best and gives you the best savings. We're going to quickly tell you about the Colquitzia, the pink cloud, and we'll finish our show today over at the favourites table. I'll be back this afternoon from 2 to 4 on TikTok if you want to come and join me on there. But tell us about the pink cloud.
This is a large shrub but with minimal needs, and that's what's great about it. This will fill a really big space, and once you plant it, you can just plant it and leave it. Bone hardy, comes back year after year after year, does really well on heavy clay soils, does well on porous soils. In fact, it grows pretty much on any soil, but in the sort of late spring to early summertime, smothered in hundreds, if not thousands, of these fabulous pink blooms that are absolutely beautiful for week after week after week. You don't need to do anything with it after that. You can just leave it to fill a space. It's literally one of those shrubs that you just plant somewhere, let it do its thing, walk away and leave it. It's a great space filler, but it's never going to give you any aggro or hassle or anything like that. You can prune it and tidy it a little bit if you want to be honest. When I think about all the Colquitzias my customers have had in their gardens over the years, all I've ever done is literally I've just left them to do their own thing. And they're actually quite nice for the birds in the wintertime, because they do form quite thick faux twigs and branches in the winter, and quite often you see the little wrens and the robins and things kind of getting down inside them, to get out the wind and the cold and stuff. So yeah, try this. If you've got a space somewhere where you've just wanted to put something that flowers beautifully, that's hardy, minimum maintenance, go for Colquitzia. You'll love it.
It is a buy one get one free, so fantastic value. Just put one in your basket, enter the code, you'll get your free gift, and you'll get a free pink cloud in there. And they're 3 litre pots, so these are really well established. And you're already halfway or getting close to your free postage. So you just need a few more items in there to get your free postage offer.
And one of them would make a great gift, wouldn't it? I mean, if you don't want
definitely.
Another, second one, somebody's just moved into a new house, or somebody who's redoing their garden, like Bex is going to be in the near future. That'd make a beautiful, beautiful gift.
Right, so we're going to show you the last couple that we've got time for on the favourites table. Chilean lantern, I'm so glad. This is one of my favourites from the show. Definitely going to be adding this into my basket. This is the Chilean lantern tree in the 9cm pot. We are saving £3 on this one. It is £8.49 if you are in the club, and it does create some of the most beautiful, unusual flowers. Grimmy sent us a picture earlier. This is his growing in his garden. Obviously, it's not a picture from today, but it is an evergreen plant. I've forgotten when it flowers, though. When does it flower?
It flowers summertime, so kind of, I think, late spring into sort of early summertime is sort of the flowering time for it. And yeah, the flowers are absolutely beautiful. I mean, almost remind me of fuchsia flower buds before they burst open. But I've seen, because I've been up to Scotland quite a lot, and I've seen a lot of these growing up in Scotland and Wales and places like that, where they can get to a good sort of 2 or 3 metres tall, but they are very slow growing, so don't worry about this romping away. If again, if you sort of think about planting this in a similar place to where Japanese azaleas really thrive, or the forest flame, the Pyrrhus, really thrive. They like the same sort of conditions. Or where your blue Meconopsis poppies have done really well.
Oh,
again,
or your acers.
Yeah, they like that. You know, they all like that similar kind of really damp soil, lots of humus, organic material. If you haven't got acid soil, then you can plant it in a pot. Or like we saw there with the one there, you could try it in the ground still, but just regularly feed it with an ericaceous liquid feed. And that will just supply the plant with what it would lack without that.
Yeah, I'm going to get myself some of that liquid feed. 510165 is the item number for that one in the 9cm pot. It's going in my basket. I hope it's going in yours. And finally for today, another one that I've also got in my garden, and I love it. It's getting close to 2 years old now. It is the tree fern, the Dixonia. It comes to you in a 9cm pot. That's mine, grown on about a year, I think it was, roughly. Got some really good growth on it, and that was it sort of at about 18 months on. I will do another picture to update these. When tomorrow I'll take a picture so you can see how it's looking similar to that, but just a little bit bigger. They are beautiful. It'll be an heirloom plant. It's something that will live as long as you give it a little bit of winter protection, which is what I'm going to need to do to mine. I know it's going to get really cold here tonight, but it is something that you'll be able to pass on to your children and your grandchildren. It's gorgeous.
And it isn't to think these plants have been around for millions and millions of years already. I mean, you know, these were around before the dinosaurs.
Absolutely,
you know, long before us, and they're a long-lived plant. I mean, these can live 200, 300, 400 years old. Very slow growing, but you know, isn't it nice to actually start a tree fern right from this little tiny size, rather than chopping down a couple of 100-year-old one in the wild somewhere and shipping it halfway around the world?
Sustainably, you know? To tell you that, you know, obviously they are sustainably sourced, but starting off from a young one, obviously, there's better environmental, you know, benefits from doing that.
Yeah, and like Stu says quite often, it's about the journey, isn't it? Sometimes we do live in a world where a lot of us want instant, we want immediate, we want now. But sometimes with gardening, the fun is starting that plant from when it's really small and going through the journey, like you had with yours. I'm loving it. And in no time at all, you know, in just a couple of years, you've had some great results with your little tree fern.
It's grown well, hasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, so Dingo, thank you very much for your message. He says, hi, Bex and Adam, just bought 2 of the Lysosterias plus some other plants. No idea where they're going yet. Cheers, Dingo. Love you, Dingo. That's absolutely how I do my gardening as well. I want it, I'm having it, I'll work it out later. Right, so thanks ever so much for your company. Been really lovely to have you here. It's been really lovely to have you in the potting shed for the first time of this 2025.
Thank you. It's
He's going to be back loads throughout the year. If you haven't joined the club, I don't know what more I can say to you. It's brilliant. You're going to get loads of savings. We've upped the discount. You get extra vouchers included. The price you pay is the one that you lock in, and you'll only ever pay that price. So grab those discounts. Make sure you put your code in before you check out so that you get all of those savings. This week's it's YGTV0225. If you want a bit more of me, I'll be back on TikTok this afternoon 2 till 4. If not, then come and join myself and Sean on Sunday morning. We'll be back, and Adam will be back in the potting shed very soon. Nice to have your company. Thanks ever so much. See you soon. Mwah.